We'll wait for the ads to play, chat to roll in before we start what we're doing today. No new sets overnight, which I am waiting. I'm counting down the days. Now that we got the bus revealed a few days ago, I'm actually editing that section of the stream into a video because there's some really good points that we brought up about them. I just got to wait for the rest of the sets for May, but chances are they'll probably do it early April. Won't be April 1st because... Is the room a bit darker than usual? Is my light up? Or is the camera... Autofocus is... Yeah, okay. Okay, maybe it's just the sunlight. Sun went down a couple minutes ago. There is no sunlight. Anyway, yes, the sets. It won't be April 1st, it's April Fool's. Won't be... Don't think it'll be around April Fool's because usually Lego's April Fool's page is up for a few days. Hello there, Moonshoes. Hello there. Hello there. Today we are finishing off the Falcon. One more stream. That's all it needs. Or is it? We'll see by the end of today. Mainly the interior. The exterior, I do want to create some custom pieces. I've been thinking about those grills we were talking about, and I think we go for it. I think we design our own grills, create the back of the Falcon as it should be, and hopefully Lego will follow in suit. Oh yeah, there's a few extra pieces that I wanted to add. We'll go through them as we go. But right now, the interior of the Falcon is very empty, and by very empty, I mean it's completely empty. We didn't fill it in as we were going. There's the odd bear here, and not that bear, the bed. There's an odd bed here and there, but other than that it is completely empty and a play feature in the middle. So we've got to make that look like the Falcon in A New Hope, which with the help of all the other Falcon sets you saw in the thumbnail shouldn't be too hard. We should be able to make a breeze out of it. I mean, Lego have released so many Falcons right now. Hello there, DJ, welcome. So many Falcons. We do have the instructions up for this one, so we're taking a bit of inspiration mainly from the back of the instructions when we can see all the play features and they give us a good look at the interior, right? Good look at the interior, because we've got the Luke play feature. I think this is the best we're gonna get. Here we go. Yep, so we're missing kind of this backside, but Luke's standing over the table. Luke's not even facing the droid. Like, Luke can kind of go side on with it here, or maybe slash it in the other position. But Luke's fighting the holo chest table and also seeing if we can get minifigures to stand up. One of the main reasons behind the modifications we made, which was lowering the base of the Falcon by one full brick, although without the tiles at the minute it's a brick and a plate, but we will be adding some tiles or jumpers to get the rest of the Falcon attached, is so that we can get our minifigures in the bottom. The Falcon is weighted forward. Oh, where have you come from? Look at the bottom of the Falcon. We've picked up a stray plate. A 1x10 in dark red. I don't even think I've had 1x10s out recently. I've no idea where that's come from. Does it still fall forward? No, only when it's forced and when it's made to be rocking. Also, a little turret in here wouldn't hurt. Something to slide in the side. And no point putting the roof off. Putting the roof on. We can keep it off. Pretty sturdy build, you've heard. Yeah, it's solid. Even the back here, which is held on just by a few clips. The very back is held on by some translucent clips. You don't get more fragile than that when it comes to Lego pieces. And that's solid. That's not breaking anytime soon. I hope not. Don't think they're expensive pieces, but they're pieces I want to keep around. And the entire back is looking good. The only piece that does fall out is this one, because it's on the door rail. So maybe that is a flaw when swooshing it. There's nothing to lock it in. It just falls out. I think that's where you hold. Behind the cockpit, you can't hold this side, like we said, because of the play feature. I think you go for a nice firm grasp over here and you're swooshing it. So the roof's going to be on. That's going to be on. Maybe a stud to clip it in wouldn't have gone too far. You could stud it in with, you know what? Let's fix this. That's what we're doing today. We're improving the Falcon. So what you need down here is another 1x4, a 1x2, and a very specific snot plate. Not just a not just a brick. Cargo van Falcon. I was thinking about the Falcon because not many people call it the Millennium Falcon. And I wonder how many people can spell Millennium. I wonder how many people call it the Falcon because they don't want to mix it up, get Millennium wrong. It's not the easiest of words in the Star Wars dictionary to get right, so can't blame anyone here. But I do wonder how many people, or if that is why it's just referred to as the Falcon / Hunker Junk / fastest ship in the galaxy. Depends who you're asking. All right, 1x2. Here we go. Shouldn't need this drawer because that's mostly plates. All you need to fix this side panel in, make sure it stops slipping out. This should put a definite stop to it. It should definitively stop it. One 1x4, one 1x2, and a modified 2x2 with 2 studs on the end, stacked up like so. So you're filling the gap and crossing off the T. And this should fit in. The side without the red is on the right. This should fit in right there. And if I've worked it out correctly, this should stud into this just like so, right? And stop it sliding out. That's all that was needed. 2 studs. That does fit, right? That's totally legal technique and all, because the studs go in. Actually, is that too high? Too low? No, that's gotta be just right. Is that right? It works, whether it's fully legal or not, it does work. And as long as you're not trying to cram that all the way in, that's a solid connection. So there we go, we fixed in the side. Could even do with 2 plates either side of it, or by building up the side here so we don't have the gaps. But I'm not too fussed on that. I would recommend personally just to hold it here and swoosh it around by the right hand side of it. Pew pew, pew pew. Other than that, I think the exterior is pretty solid. Again, could get some round vents at the front. That would be nice. And you could even use the same grille piece that we're using for the back. So I might try and make a few extras of that. And then it looks how it does. I'm actually noticing there is one piece miscolored on the front of the Falcon. Can anyone tell me what piece is the wrong color? I know it's in a small screen right now. Let's blow it up. Can anyone tell me what piece is not grey that maybe should be? Once you see it, it's so obvious. But this has been like this for probably the end of the last stream. This is a late part that we've added on, one of the last. Right there. Right there. We've got a sand green slope where we need a grey slope. That shouldn't be sand green, that should be grey. And I didn't notice it until, what, a couple of seconds ago. It took me swooshing this thing around to notice that we got the wrong colour slope in there. Crazy. All right, let's patch that out for the right colour then, shall we? This one's grey, right? This is grey. I don't trust it anymore. Gotta have a green piece on the build. You are very right. And where did we get our green piece? There's a green 2x2 plate, rounded off plate, in the build somewhere. I can't even remember. I can't remember to show it off. I feel like it's on one of the side pieces. It could be up on the front here. We can't see any flipped over. Maybe it's on the back of the cockpit. I really don't know where our green piece is. We missed it on the X-Wing. We didn't do it on Vader's tie. Oh, we might have done a green piece on Vader's tie. But we got one in here. Was it on the back of this? No, they were tan. I don't remember. anyone remember where our green's gone? We've lost our green. Oh, I found it. I found our green. Sweet. That pops off. There we go. Green plate hidden on the back. I think it was lime green in the official set, and we just darkened it just to make sure we couldn't lose it. And did that stop us? No. Still managed to lose it. It still went missing. One green piece. It's a seasick pirate. The green one piece. We found it. Let me slide over chat. Make sure I can see it on the main screen. Come on. There we go. That's better. And live chat. Don't forget, switch out your top chat for live chat so that you don't miss what everyone else is saying. I did find, some of you would have seen the community post, the Falcon cockpit after it exploded off the Falcon yesterday. Not yesterday, Tuesday. And we had to find it Monday as well because I didn't have it to start off with. So we can place that back on. Definitely the hardest piece to place on this entire build. Even if you're building the set, to get the cockpit without the gap behind it, it's nearly impossible to work this in without like popping something off or causing something at the back to fly away, which is why I haven't filled in the back completely. We got the tiniest little gap. But today's all about the interior without this piece. The hollow chest table, the computer that Han sits at, the stool as well. The back can light up. Maybe we can get some lights of our own because I don't have the smart brick. Maybe we can get our own light in there because it's 4 wide. That would fit the lights we got at Christmas, and we'd be able then to pivot that to turn it on and off. I think it's the only place that needs lights. There's an argument for the front, especially with the little white or red in the front. We could get a stud in there. Just about. But the back engine needs lights, and I think it needs lights the whole way along. But that would be too much. We'd have to get rid of our bed, get rid of this mechanism. So we have a constant on light that we can activate for the engines, which would be all right because we'd be able to fit the power bank in the middle of this Falcon. Speaking of the middle of the Falcon, what do we have to go inside? Does this fold underneath? Oh, nice. So when you're playing, that's what, about 40 centimeters, about 20 wide. You could play with this on a small table. Not take up too much space. We got our computer from the the Christmas Falcon. When we built that, we added a little computer to it. I really like this design. It should hold up to the height of the Falcon. To go with it, we've got this chair, which is the one that Han sits in. We are going to need a stool for Obi-Wan Kenobi to sit by Luke training. And these will go probably on this corner. We have then Ben sat down here by the engines, Luke training with a droid, maybe the hollow chest table with some loot behind it. Although I feel like the hollow chest table should be looking in, or the chair from the table should be looking in. Either way, computer and chair. Hello there, Amila, welcome. Speaking of the hollow chest table, we've got just that. I do own a shield from the 2015 Force Awakens Falcon, and that would be perfect in this case. I don't think there's a clip strong enough to hold that up. Let me find where I put it. Oh, we've got even more Falcon cockpits and tie dishes. Oh, hold on. This is the grey one that I was looking for Vader's tie. I'm going to put that to or we could add that to Vader's tie in a minute. I'll leave that on the tray. The shield for the Falcon. No, that's the wrong Falcon. That's the marble Falcon in there. Might be in here. One of our specialized pouches. Because I've seen it recently. Unless, is it in this little accessory bag I'm yet to sort? No. Might have been though. That would have been funny if I missed that out. We've got another dish in here that would work for a hollow chest table. I had the shield. I didn't take it out and put it somewhere ultra safe, did I? I've been doing that a lot with Lego bricks recently. I've got to stop. Right, no. Not in there, but I do have it to hand. Maybe it was in with either the cockpits or the other pieces. I personally prefer this table because it's brick built. And if you know something about the channel here, we do love a brick building. We like the Marvel weapons. We should do sabers. We should build minifigure size sabers. That would be fun. That would be awesome. Because some of them only need a little splash of paint on the regular hilt. But if we use the regular hilt for characters like Yoda, we can get at least an extra 2-3 studs on a minifigure saber. And then the proportions are off anyway, the blade being twice the length of the hilt. Maybe we can double stack blades. And finally, I think this is the last thing we can take from that diorama. It's the couch. It's the hollow chest couch, modified a little bit so that it holds up and doesn't fall apart when you try and pop it off, which if you've got that set, you know you can't just take that from one place to another. And that is right by the doorway. So we can pop that out a little bit. It's not letting us sit it right in the center or right on the edge because of the bed. The bed prevents it from being on the edge. How was the bed connected down again? Right, in the back. So I'll bring this couch bit one forward and we'll be able to put the seat right against the wall, because pushing this back puts the tile one further in. So this is a real easy fix. Nicely done. I've also modified the bed in the far corner of the Falcon. We couldn't quite get the exact same bed in the side. I mean, we can't get this bed where it's meant to go, so that's fair enough. Could even change these for tan if we've got them. We had to add a slope on the corner and bring it 1 or 2 studs in so that it would fit with our bar piece. Even if you've got the original set, you'll still need to make the same change. And we did change those plates for tan. So that's something to keep in mind for this one. And then what if we angle it on the side? Still get Luke dueling over here. But again, he's dueling over the hollow chest table. Luke will have to be on the end of this, or the hollow chest will have to be a little further away. Computer, right on this wall, against the engines. Ooh, that'll be a close one. Does it work? Yeah. With one stud of give, Kenobi sat down the side, and then the chair can be in the doorway, just like so. A little doorway to the head of the Falcon, which covers up the side here. We're just going to have to remember how I did that doorway, unless I've got it around, which I don't think I do. I might do. Is it down? No, I think I did destroy it in the end. I should have kept the doorway intact, just in case I needed it. Other than that, I think it's a pretty solid design right here. Luke's got plenty of space to move around. We can have 3 different points. Maybe even 5 different points. How many points do we want the droid to have? And then a single stud holding this up, rather than a jumper. Nah. Or we get a 1x2 jumper, so that it's off to the left, can still pivot the chair. First off, before we do anything, can a minifigure fit in the Falcon? Let's grab some figs. Who do we want in the Falcon? We've got Farm Boy Luke. We've got Old Ben. They seem easy enough. We've also got a few figures that I'm gearing up for Yavin. So with these, we can have... I guess we're going to need Han Solo. We'll take off his Yavin medal because he doesn't need that. Not in this scene. Same for Chewbacca. We'll take off Chewbacca's Yavin medal. 3PO... R2-D2, who isn't down here because R2's in the X-Wing, and the training droid. Is that everybody? I want to work Leia in. I think we'll put Lando and Nine in the cockpit. That way we've got a little scene on the inside, a little scene on the outside. Is the training droid in here? It seems to be. Don't know if they're bagged up or if they're just loose in the minifigure heads, because they are just a minifigure. Or Might even be in that drawer that we were just in. So many times when building the Falcon, we were looking for a specific part and putting the other pieces away after the stream. I'd go to a drawer and underneath one of the bags we used would be the part that we needed. Or one of the bags that I moved out the way on the stream. There is evidence on the stream. Turns out that's the piece that we needed to pick up. So we can't be glossing over any of them. Need to keep our eyes peeled. No, definitely not in here. So it might be in with the minifigure heads. That makes sense. Doesn't it? Oh, a lot of white minifigure heads. None of which look like the training droid. It's not what we want to see now. Must be in with the droid minifigures. We'll take a look at it by the end. No doubt if I don't find it in the next couple of hours, I'll find it right after the stream. It's just how it works. Luke doesn't need his poncho. Doesn't need his father's saber. Kenobi, yeah, Kenobi needs his cloak. Han doesn't need his, needs his legs. Doesn't need his medal. Same for Chewie, which is the medal we gave Chewie when making the Alderaan art on the wall. Don't think I'll ever be breaking that one down now. It stayed with us too long. Oh, they can go with the rest of them. Just down there. And this is the UCS R2D2 UCS 3PO. You can't expect anything less, especially for a mock. It has to be. Chewie's little medal. So Luke has a saber. Luke does need his saber. We'll go for a shiny hilt and a blue blade. And for Anakin's saber, or the Skywalker Legacy saber, you could get away with just, I don't know if you'd need anything on top, just painting stripes, black stripes on the bottom of the hilt. And I think that would be great. We need a printed saber. That'd be a first I like to see. What hand does Luke hold his saber in? And are we going to take Lego's word for it? Because I'm not sure if... Oh, that's why the training droid doesn't go under. It's probably too tall. Right hand. That feels right. That does feel right. And also... Oh, yes. We need to grab this Luke minifigure. I've still been using the 2010 Luke Skywalker for every iteration of Luke because it's just better. In every way, besides the hairpiece, it's just better. It doesn't have that weird chin thing going on, which I'm not a fan of. I'm not a big fan of the chin. It's got much better printing on the torso. Even on a white torso, up until end of last year, UCS Death Star is about 50-50 if you get a good Luke or not. But this year, it does seem that all the land speeder copies, to be fair, most of the land speeder copies that I saw were sent out to land members, so that would definitely have an effect. But most of the copies had a decent torso printing for Luke. The neck on this older Luke Skywalker minifigure is just so much better than the neck on this newer one. This is like a 2015 one. I mean, they're all about the same. Why so dark? Come on, fix the light. Oh, it's a bit brighter now. Okay, it works. That'll be easier to see the comparison between the two. It's just so much better on the old one, and the legs. I know they've gone back to it with the newer Luke Skywalker minifigure, but the older legs are so good. And again, white printing on tan legs, not perfect, but it's a lot better than you'd probably get today. So I'm gonna try and keep this Luke head. Come back. Don't go. You've got the dual-sided Luke head as well on the newer one. So that's probably a plus for most of us. Wiggle off that hairpiece. Come on. Put a little wiggle in it. You built the you built the Playscout Slave 1. Awesome. It does. It's such a good build. Not gonna lie, that's not much different than the Luke we get in the playsets today. Just a different shape to the hair. It's still like tan, isn't it? Can't wait for them to finally switch out to the sandy dark tan. The Playscale Slave 1 would look good against a Microfighter Kenobi Delta, which we got Plo's Delta. Maybe following along those instructions and building a little ship for Kenobi would be a fun little display. Oh, you can put Luke. There's enough studs of connection to put Luke directly onto it. We built out this little display, so it's not as secure as the official Lego one, but that works. And now you've got Luke dueling it out. Not sure the saber will be able to go up when the case goes on top, but let's try that out with Luke on top of the display. Oh, this is the perfect Falcon. This is the Falcon I dreamed of owning when I was a kid. A Falcon that you could get the minifigures inside, you could close it up. Why are Lego not pushing this more? I mean, we've lowered it down a brick. So how close is it, is what I'm trying to say. How close? It's not looking good for Lego. It's looking... I forgot we didn't actually stud down any of these interiors yet. They've all just gone flying. The computer's good. It's way too close to get this done with the official set. But if Lego dropped it down by one brick, all the other characters are sat down. Luke is levitating about a brick, maybe about 2.5 plates above the floor of the Falcon. And there's enough space to close him in on that middle beam. There is a slight angle to these outer walls, but not enough minifigures not to stand underneath. Let's put 3PO in the furthest corner. That's the furthest out. 3PO still fits. 3PO's not holding up the roof. Oh, these slopes at the back are. So 3PO fits with more than enough space. Chewbacca should fit in that corner without bumping his head. Let's put our Chewie where our mouth is. Yeah, plenty of space for Chewbacca. You could get a top hat in there. You could get any minifigure standing up in the Falcon. If only they dropped the base down by one brick, which was really easy to do. You've seen it here. The bomb release door on the Slave 1 design is genius. Oh, it is. Where you put them in the door on the front and then you fire them out the back. I think it's... I'd love something like that on the UCS Slave 1 that is no longer behind. That has been relocated. I think I am going to miss it. I might lay it down there once. Maybe move Yavin across. I like Yavin where it is. Maybe we'll move it across when we get our other display. But some of the playset features that we've had in recent years have been top notch from Lego. They wouldn't have done it years ago. No way would they have done it years ago. Right, I'm committing to the couch being right there and the table in the middle. Oh wait, the table isn't obstructing the training, which means we can get a jumper right ahead of Luke. And I think we still put one to the side because Luke can turn. Can he turn? Luke can kind of turn. Maybe we focus all efforts to the front. So Luke's dueling the droid. We need Han Solo on his chair. Oh, we need Chewie. Now in the movie, Chewie sits on the right hand side, 3PO on the left, and R2 standing to the side. Well, you know, standing as R2 does. He's not really standing to the side, but he is perched off to the side. Chewie's going to need some sort of plate to get in there because the back of the torso, we still need a unique head mold for Chewie. But we'll do with what we've got at the minute. There's no way Chewie can just perch on the side like that. Do we have to remove the back to allow Chewie to sit? It's not a terrible idea. It's not the best, but if Chewie's perched on the side here, then we get 3PO in the middle acting as like a referee right here. And R2-D2 can stand off to the left-hand side rather than right, not bugging Luke, not getting in the way of anything, but still being able to play hollow chess, perhaps even one stud over. We've got the space from Luke's duel. And then Han is in a dangerous position. I'm not sure if we should sit Han out to the side and same for Kenobi. Maybe get the computer on its side as well. Or if Han's sitting in the middle next to Chewie, it feels right. And we can get some crates down here between the beds. It does feel better to get Han sat there. So let's get that jumper in the back. Let's get all the jumpers, some 1x2s, some 2x4s. Right, that was pretty much all the jumpers that exist. Well, there's rounded ones. There's modifications on them. And we're gonna go with light bluish grey. Because that feels all right, and that's what Lego have used as well. Might have caught my quick glance there. Han's arms, relaxing. Chilling. Look at that. Now that is a chair. I need to get me one of these to sit in when I'm building. Han's laughing at the pokey religion. For Ben sat off to the side of the computer. I'm going to create a stool that looks like the UCS Mos Eisley, the 2x2 round plate with the 2/4 tiles and just a 1x2 on top. How do they do that? How do they do that and make it look round? I think it's because minifigure bums are squared off and they make it look round. So instead, I might get a round 2x2 and a stud in the bottom so that it looks like a stool and isn't just a regular couch. It's all 4 studs into Kenobi. I'm not worried about Kenobi breaking at all. And that gets a nice scene built up and then still room for crates down the side. Maybe one big crate down the back here. Yeah, one big crate and maybe a few little 1x1s and then some barrels down the side. We could even use that really nice Mandalorian battle pack crate that I've got right here. I love sneaking that into the odd build. It's a great, really great canister. Reminds me of a smaller version from one of the old Scarif sets. It doesn't block Luke in at all. No, it doesn't reach over to it. Great question. New stud shooter or old stud shooter? Now that we've got the minifigures placed, I'm going to take a look at the top because we got some of the old stud shooters. Some of the new stud shooters on the top. These are the new stud shooters. And I don't like the new stud shooters. They just don't shoot in a straight line. So I am going to be replacing them for the old stud shooters. The reason the old stud shooters work better is because they push the stud out. They fire it out using the friction of the stud, whereas these ones spin it. And because they're spinning it this way up, it's not bad. They go a little further because of the way they're spinning. But so many times Lego will put these on the sides of ships, not realizing that they're going to shoot outwards. Whichever way the stud is facing, that's the direction they're going to twist. And that's not what you want on a playset. You don't want studs to be firing all over the place, even when they're going up. It's more chance of the stud leading to the left, leading to the right. Or, you know a way to make it fire straight. Go on. Let us in on it. Don't keep us waiting. You got the good secrets. We're all queuing up to find out. Also, the old stud shooters are black, which on the Falcon does stick out quite a bit. I don't know if I've got any grey ones in here. Oh, maybe. There's a grey one. Maybe they do exist. Either way, grey is great. So I'll get 2 of these on standby. Old stud shooter versus new stud shooter. Who's it gonna be? I also think the old stud shooters take up less space because they just fire it, they press it out. They're smaller, they're easier to hide. These are half a stud further forward, which makes them 3.5 plates long. And then they're a little thicker on top. Use studs instead of flat rounds. Do you think that will help with the consistency? Let's put that to the test. We'll go with red for the Falcon because that seems canonically right. That seems like it makes sense. Studs and rounds, and we need to have something to fire it into, like a cap If I fire them into this Jedi Master cap, they should lose all momentum and not go flying around the room. But we'll see. We'll see about that. I'm sure one of them's going to ping and go flying. Let's proper scientifically here make sure that we've set up our goal. And we're going to we need something to test. Maybe this brick can help us test right side by side how straight they go. And you'll be able to see, we might have to slow this down or catch this. You know what I can do? Okay, no, never mind. The camera's not showing up. I was hoping I'd set that up already. So we've got our right ones are full studs. Our left ones are tiles. We seem to have run into an issue because the old stud shooter can't fire tiles. Okay, this is going to be the base test. So we've got stud, tile, and stud. Let's see. Oh, please don't ping off. Took me ages to find the studs from last time. That, I don't know about you, but that seemed pretty straight. I might not have lined it up to the base plate. All right, 3 studs across, 6 studs in. Ooh, that wasn't straight. That was off to the right. Was it? All right, this is straight. Yeah, okay, perfectly straight. We all saw that one, right? we all saw that. And now for the tile, that was off to the right. I'm going to give that 3 goes because we had 3 goes with the other one. So the stud is facing to the left and it goes off to the right. What if the stud's facing, or the anti-stud's facing to the left instead? Does it fire off to the left? Oh, that went pretty straight. One more for luck. Anti-stud to the left, and then we'll test. No, that went off to the left. Okay. Now the stud is meant to be near enough perfect. So I'm going to double load them here. First up. Oh, not only was that straight, but yes, that one was so much more powerful. That packed a punch. I want to see if I can mimic that. This is so scientific what we're doing now. You don't get much more confident than this. Right, stud in. Not only did that fire so straight, it then proceeded to spin and bounce the whole way around the chair to down here. That thing packs a punch. And finally, does spinning it the other way change anything? No, that looked pretty straight to me. One last time, just to prove our results are following the scientific method here, at least in one way. Okay, studs is the way to go. So it's not actually to do with the stud shooter, but with the studs themselves. Thank you, Amitla. You've just proved that the new stud shooters have earned their place on the Falcon and fire not only straight, but more powerful, come here, but more powerful shots, which we do need on our Star Wars ships. We do need more powerful shots. So I'll be keeping the new ones on. Studs in the new ones are stronger and straighter than flat rounds. Yeah, so the flat rounds, the problem with the flat rounds, let's do a side-by-side comparison. The flat rounds have wiggle room on the inside. They have that little bit more wiggle room. You can hear it when I'm shaking it. Mike's kind of picking it up. So that when it's firing, it must be hitting it at that angle, and that was way off to the right. It should have gone this. Instead, it went there. This, there. What it should have done, what it did instead. That was crazy. And then I can't seem to get it to bend left. Was that left a bit? So anti-stud to the right. That seems pretty straight. But then when it's anti-stud to the left, it seems to just break our cannon here. Oh, that went to the left. Oh, it's inconsistent. It works, but it is inconsistent. Compared that to the stud. Oh, okay, it hit a bump in the hat. But that was perfectly straight, and it was even stronger. That's going to be hard to catch on camera. I don't know if you can see just how good that is. Studs in this new stud shooters. Studs in the new stud shooters are the perfect weapons. In fact, they're so strong. I'm not going to put them back in the stud shooter because if I fire them out and hit myself, I'm worried I'm going to cause myself an injury or something. So, yeah, new stud shooters with studs, preferably new studs, but I don't think the age of studs is going to affect it. That does bring us to another question though. How many times can we fire a transparent stud before it breaks? How many times can we smack? Because we're smacking it every time. How many times before it shatters? You just use the studs instead of flat rounds. You know what? Going forward, you have changed my Lego building experience. I'm not going to be using these 1x1 rounds in stud shooters anymore, which is good because a couple weeks ago, we built a little scene from the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. Some of you might recognize this, and we vowed to never use transparent studs in builds. So we're using transparent tiles in builds instead because they're built out. They don't have that little rim and then the outer bit. They're flatter in displays. So for the control panels in the back, they go flush with the build, but still look like buttons. And if we're not using plates, if we're not using studs in these builds, I have an entire tub full of them. And what do I end up doing with all these transparent studs, except for firing them out of stud shooters? I have now got so much ammo. There's always more you could have. There is. I might order a bag of them just for fun. Go outside and start firing them. But now you know that the best way to fire studs is with studs and the new shooters. So you don't need to remove them off your Falcon. What do Lego give us? What do Lego give us on top? Because if it is tiles, you might have to swap them out for studs. Yeah, it's tiles. Oh no, I was just saying how there's like no criticism in the Falcon, and now we found one. We found the Falcon's flaw. It's right here. Right on the top. You need studs. I would heavily recommend studs. It's so much better. How? Oh, they've got it right pressed down. I think a 1x3 and a 3x3 dish would be better instead of this 4x4. Wait, was that another stud? No, that was another stud. I said it flying. Oh, it was a tile. Oh, that's okay. There was still a tile in the hat. I thought I had two of each. I guess they're the same draw, so we can bring that out. Yeah, right at the back. Plenty of these 3x3s. Just remove them from my Batman customs. The 3x3s as the bases. Still don't understand why when Lego were putting these in images for the minifigures, these 3x3 round dishes weren't included. Because they make good displays. Now they render most things. I mean, they were rendering back then as well. But it was easier to display the minifigures, get them to stand up in the actual images. These dishes don't hurt, or maybe for some of the figures with lightsabers and other weapons, especially the big brick built blasters, they do need like a 2x2 or a jumper to stand on. Why not include these dishes? I have so many of them. Must be from the pick and build in stores. I don't know where else I'd get them from. But this is better to scale. This dish, you could also swap it out for the Last Jedi, or is it the Force Awakens? Last Jedi is when they lose it. Might be the Force Awakens, the aerial that they have instead of the satellite dish. They're getting with the times, just a couple decades behind. Wow, we've got the blasters fixed on top. We got studs on the side to hold this in, and we have almost a full interior. Missing a few barrels, but we've got a ton of them here that we can add. I don't think I'll be adding any near Kenobi. Let's add a grey barrel, a brown barrel, and possibly another one of those crates just next to R2, so that we can fill them with the tools, the weapons, the accessories that all the minifigures have. Pistols are going to be hard to sneak in, so looking at Han Solo here, the hammer will fit because in the barrels we have an axle hole which holds bars. Maybe the pistol goes in that crate off to the side, and then let's grab 2 1x1 round bricks in dark bluish grey, and we'll add those next to the bigger crate in the corner to make it look busy. Now we just need to work on the door. Work on the door. We want it to be panelled at the back. So I'm thinking a 6x6. We could slot a bit of cardboard in there. We could decorate the background of the Falcon. I'll get some sort of image just in there of the hallway and brick build a hallway in front. That would definitely be a sticker if Lego were to do it. But I like the idea of brick building it. So let's see what cheese slopes we've got. I don't know if we've got the 1x1s in tan, but I think the hallway was 6 wide. So this base will be 8 wide. And we can build that into the bottom. We could keep it as. We don't need to have a hallway in the bottom. I think it'd be a nice touch. I do like the sound of it. So let's see what we can do. Add the little turret as well. Maybe we don't need to fill out the back. We just need a few snot bricks and a few 1x or 2x. We'll start off with 1x. A few 1x1 cheese slopes. Gotta bring in the cheese, and a lot of these ones in grey. The little indented snot bricks, because they'll give us a little difference in the cheese slopes as we go around. I think 1 cheese slope at the bottom, 1 at the top, and then some 1x1 tiles is what we want. I know I've got 1x2. I don't know what my tan tiles are looking like, but this would be enough for a hallway with an open top ship. If we can add the top to it, that'd be really cool. The cheese. Everyone hears the cheese. If you're ever missing a stream and you get a feeling like something's happening, we got the cheese slopes out. That is what it is. Yes, the tan slopes. The tiles. Either that or Lego have released another Yoda, and let's hope that's not the case. Lego needs to take a step back from Yoda, have a little break, have a Kit Kat, not a sponsor. No more Yodas, please. It's one of those things, the first time I saw Chewbacca, it was a spook. I think it was the combination of the eyes with the teeth for Chewbacca. And then the more you saw it, or at least the more I saw it, the more you got used to it. With Yoda, no. Next day, a couple days later, and I'm still, it's still looking a bit, it's not for me. Definitely not. It looks a little weird. Just a tad. How many? I think there's 9. I think there's 9 little segments on the Falcon. This will be at least 1 plate up. Wait, we can get another snot brick on the top. We potentially could get something the whole way around, but I don't think we do. Maybe another cheese slope if we add a snot brick on top, or use one of those fancy pieces, or we just raise it a little bit, get it detachable, and that will lead into the turret hanger. Or we could raise it, put it on a 2x6 so it's easier to remove, because I do think Lego doesn't need to be told off. The interior of this ship can just be left as a load of studs, and that's all right. Oh no, we can go back to the stud shooter thing. Yeah, we don't have to leave it behind. What else have we got? Do I need any more of these? No, I don't think so. Maybe. Oh no, not the 2x4s. We need those for that giant Falcon that we're definitely going to build one day. Or for Tatooine. We got Mos Eisley Cantina to build. That one's still not been put together. So behind this, if we're only needing a one buy, ooh, yeah, we don't want it to be too cramped. I'll get some more barrels back there. We can also top these ones with Toll's jumpers and a few extra bits to make them look like they are sealed containers and not just empty bits put there to fill some space. We don't want anyone getting that idea. And you can still get the smart play brick on the back. That's what's quite nice about some of these modifications. Could get the smart brick in the cockpit if you really wanted to. Don't forget to stay hydrated. I like the gunner on top. I wasn't sure how I felt about it at first, especially with the front. Could have been so many different colours. But the fact you got the stud shooters that don't need the smart brick. You do have the smart brick firing system by the cockpit. It's not great. It's one of the best in terms of built into the set. It's better than the... Oh, is it better than the X-Wing? Is it better than the groovy X-Wing? Is it better than a ship that can just... Is it better? Is it better? No, maybe. It's hidden a lot better. And that's the same for the TIE Fighter and for the A-Wing as well. The A-Wing open backs don't help the set. But the Falcon, I think the Falcon's been built. Maybe they've had this Falcon design for a while and then they've taken the smart brick to it. Because you can't tell me Lego haven't been working on a Falcon that has an interior like this. Surely they have. It's genius. It pays for itself. Lego keeps putting flat round tiles to sets and it's just annoying. I bet. Studs are probably cheaper to produce. They seem like they're less plastic. And they can switch it to studs, have to replace it every time you buy a Lego set with a new stud shooter. And you're out of studs. It is a problem that could get quite bad. I think what Lego would say to that is that the studs are on the pick and build. And that's going to cost you more money. You're going to end up spending more. It's not a lot more when you're looking at some of the prices of the Star Wars sets. But it sucks that you do have to go out and buy that. I think Lego as an adult hobby, at least, has come to a point where you'll never be able to buy the finished set. There's always at least one thing that you could definitely do to improve it. And that's not always a bad thing. In this case, yeah, okay, maybe tiles and studs. For those of us that want to randomly fire versus improved accuracy. But for the most part, I think that's okay. It's encouraging creativity with some of the modifications that we have made. Stud shooters, not really creative. It's bugging. It's bugging. Yeah, it's annoying rather than an actual modification. We'll buy some new studs from Lego, I guess. I mean, I don't think Lego are going to change it anytime. I need to get back to them about the A-Wing. We need to take a look at that. But let's get this doorway in, finish off the interior. And fingers crossed that the next set comes out with some actual studs. That would be nice. Oh, I do need... Oh, yeah. I guess I need 1x2s for the hallway, don't I? So we are going to have to sit this back. I'm going to grab a 2x6. Look how quick that was. Didn't even see me move, yet I've got it in my hand. That was fast. And then grills, plates. Any more 1x1s hanging around? Just the one? Yeah, just the one. So another one of those. I wish Lego... I wish... Well, actually, funny about wishing Lego listen to feedback a bit more. Because there are some things that they're doing. And it's not the end of the world. A lot of the things they're doing are actually quite alright. But there are a few things they're doing. If they heard people complaining about... If they heard people complaining about them, I'm sure they'd want to change it. I don't think they'd want people to be complaining about Lego sets. There's just so many people complaining about some really almost silly things that I think it does get ignored a lot of the time. Especially people that will jump on the bandwagon. As soon as they say something that the masses agree with, and that isn't something that Lego need to be changing, just their whole opinion gets disregarded and that's it. They get stamped. They're marked. Lego know who they are. Put a stud shooter. Put a stud shooter on the polybag Millennium Falcon. Alright, don't worry, I will change it back. But could you imagine what that would look like? We're not permanently modifying the ship, but it would be a bit fun to see what a stud shooter looks like on it. Does it fit to scale? I do want to crack open a few of my polybag Falcons that I've still got and build a few things with it. So we'll do that at some point. You know what? It's not terrible. It's not good, but it's not a terrible design. Like maybe a cheese slope on the back, just a 1x1 cheese slope, and then you've got yourself a little stud shooter Falcon. It pivots a little. That's the full motion of the stud shooter. That little windscreen wipe right there. It's not entirely secure, but you'll notice where you press down on the trigger. Let's load this with one of those nasty tiles. I'd recommend studs. But where you're pressing down on the trigger is where the stud connection is underneath. So you can press it down without it popping off. The only thing is if you nudge it a little bit, like it's going to take some to pop off, just like any other Lego connection. What if you pushed it? Oh, there you go. There's a quick fix. You push it half a stud forward so that it's in the middle, and you can now turn it about 90 something degrees. There we go. And it is practically in this, I mean, it hangs out a bit at the front, so you can't get it exactly central. The best you can get it is like that, which is central. That first one's central, second one is a little further forward. Also careful you don't clip this dish. It's very close to the dish on the side of the Falcon, and if you clip that, chances are you will shoot yourself. That's not something I'd recommend. Also, with the original piece, which we can put back, you can get some lasers in it. If you want it for display, you can get some lasers, which we're going to go red again. Oh, green might suit the Falcon actually. You can get some lasers in the top of the Falcon. That looks pretty cool. If you've got a fight happening, maybe a full-length bar next to this, just to give it a little extra detail. With a second laser firing, they're not firing same time. Technically, there's 4 lasers as well. So for increased accuracy, that friend set, the head of the droid, or the piece that we use for the leader of the Techno Union, where are they? Wat Tambor, where are you? Oh, just up there behind Kenobi. For Wat Tambor, that headpiece, let me get it. That would be, oh, that doesn't have holes in. Oh, it doesn't work. This is the piece that I was talking about, but it doesn't work because there's no holes in it. Nothing to grip the laser, is there? Or is... No, not really. Not at all. Put it near the center in the place of the dish, but to the right side. Oh, so you've still got the turret, but this is fully secured down. You want it on these 2 studs here. That's solid. That's not going anywhere. And it don't look bad still. I think this could work for a polybag because then you've got a little weapon, essentially. Lego are selling weapons at that point. You fire it and pew! This would be fun. If you both got polybag, you and a friend, a sibling, and then you could run around pinging each other. maybe picking up one of these each. I mean, the Razor Crest doesn't have stud shooters either, but could we put stud shooters on the Razor Crest? Do we have an image of the Razor Crest that we can pull up? Let me see if I can pull up an image. If you put stud shooters on the Razor Crest, you can also pick up a box of studs. Random colors, whichever color. I suppose red would be best. It's the most common color, but it doesn't have to be red. Be so many different colors. Whichever ones are on the wall. Maybe red isn't on the wall. Here's the Razor Crest. All right. This is the new poly bag that's coming out this year. Look on the side. Right here and right here. You can get stud shooters with a slope. Even on the back. Where would you put the stud shooters? On the wings or on the back middle? And then you can get a box of studs, fire them at each other. That'd be fun. As long as you don't mind the studs going missing, which studs aren't too bad. Hello there, Mark. Welcome. What were we? Oh, we were grabbing the blaster from this, weren't we? Yes, that can go away now. A whole box. How quickly can we go through a whole box of studs? That would be a fun couple of hours. Oh, wrong jumper. We need the, yes, we need the 1x2 and a plate back there. Should have grabbed another dark grey one, because what I'm going to do is brick build the backdrop like we did in our Lego City back in the day with the cliff face. What we did is built it out of black bricks, just stacked them up. There's a few black bricks we can go for here. Black 1x2s, they're the most common, so I'll grab some of those. Get some masonry bricks. You get all sorts of bricks back here. And then we can add a little roof on top as well if we like. 1, 2, oh, way too many bricks. Yes, on Saturday, have fun. Build the Mandalorian speeder bike. We've already built the January sets. We built a minifigure scow as well. We could hide this black in the middle and build up columns. That's going to be our best case, because then we've got the black visible only from the inside, cap it out and tile it off on top so that it doesn't look suspicious. We're not drawing anyone's attention, which means we got way too many black 1x2s. Way too many. Let's see how many 1x1s in grey we've got to spare though. I don't think we have too many of them. Oh, it's too tall. We could fit that in the ship, but I'd have to work out something for the top. Okay, here we go. Here's some 1x1x9s, 9 plates tall. This is the doorway for the Falcon. So we're going to have a little way to travel between the cockpit and the middle bit, but it's actually acting as a way to cover up this back so that we don't see it when the minifigures are having fun, chilling around here. Can we fit it behind Han? Yeah. So that's going to stud down there, just like so. And we could even connect it back here, but I'm just going to tile it off with 2 corner tiles, 1 on each side, and a 1x2 in the middle. And that will fill in our inside. We'll get more crates behind the chair, which we did see in the diorama. Not subscribed! My lord, is that legal? No. No. Unlimited subscriptions. I've already forgot the set that I said we're building at 20k, so give me time to remember that. But now we should have our complete interior. Once I get those tiles on, we've got Luke training to become a Jedi under Kenobi's instruction. We've got Han laughing away at the computer. You know he is. We've got Chewie and R2 playing the holo chess and 3PO refereeing, though not for R2's favour, because he wants to let the Wookiee win. That's not fair. We also have the training droid, which is currently trying to survive Luke's training, which it must do, because isn't that the training droid that Rey then, you know, just cuts right through? Crazy. All that from the original trilogy, and it's just chopped up like that, got rid of. Nuts. Where did the Falcon go? I didn't get it up. Let's get the actual Falcon up. There's a few different Falcons still available. I think this one is the best. The MIDI Falcon is the best for the size. The size of this Falcon seems to be the most accurate. You've got these pieces on the outside. That works. They shouldn't be put right in the middle here. Somewhere on the outside. And then also on the back, the engines. I think the engines might be too big for that one, if anything. 2x2 fits to this scale. But how big is this Falcon compared to the MIDI one? Because we've got our 6x6 in the middle, snap. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is going to be close. Oh, that was a better image. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. We still have that rounded off brick. Rounded off 4x4 brick on the outside of it. So this Falcon is only 2 studs wider than the MIDI scale Falcon. By this one, now that I've built this Falcon, there's no need to pick it up, because this is the same. Well, this is slightly bigger. Let's get specific measurements here. Let's be scientific now. This is 13 centimeters high, 19 centimeters wide. That is just bigger than this ruler. So from the side of the cockpit to this piece here is 14. And then from here to the end is about 9, 10, between 9 and 10. So it's about 23 to 24 centimeters wide. That's like 4 or 5 centimeters. That's quite a bit more than 2 studs, but I assume that's mostly to do with our cockpit. We built that out an extra stud. So I'm going to say that's 22, 23 centimeters for the official set. And I know we can have a little look. You subscribe now, Darth Vader won't come to your house. That would be scary. Middle of the night, red saber. I'm jumping out the window. I'm out of there. Not the only Falcon we got on the shelves at the minute. We got the Dark Falcon. I saw that and I've built that one. That was fun. But I will say, in the limited interior space we've got in this Falcon, we've added just as much detail as they had in the Dark Falcon. We've got our table and game. They had that. They also had a throne. Instead of a throne, we've got a training section. We have our 2 beds, which I'm pretty sure are included. They might have missed out the beds for this one. No, they included them in the different section. So beds, check. We've got our, this was the throne and little hallway. We've got Luke training. Maybe the throne and hallway should be the hallway and chair instead. We have video games on the couch, check. And we have Vader here, who seems to be training, and that can be what Luke's representing. We've also got the cockpit, so we've got the same amount of play, probably minus a throne. But instead of that throne, we've got our hyperdrive that knocks Kenobi out. All right, Kenobi's going to have to come half a stud forward. Sorry, Kenobi. We're moving you around again. Half a stud forward. Does the hyperdrive engine work now? Yes. We've got enough space at the back for that. So 1 throne less. We're doing pretty good for ourselves. And we've got this little gunner segment down here, which is for the gunner. I think that makes sense to have that hidden away. And that does also stud up to the top. This is superb. UCS1, very similar to the UCS1, because the UCS1 only has 1 or 2 interior spaces. It's got the cockpit, it's got the boarding ramp, but inside the actual ship, we've got this turret. Really wish it clicked on the image that you were on rather than just resetting it. We got this turret though, which exposes a lot of the ship, but also does free, hopefully 2 people, front and back. I don't know, I haven't built this one. There's another section that lifts off to reveal, where is it? We do get an image down here. So there should be an image, here we go, of the hollow chest table with a big old dish. That'd be way too big. We do have a very similar scene to what we've got going on down here, with the hollow chest table right in front of the arch, and then the computer and the chair just next to it. So we've essentially created the UCS Falcon using this. That'd be mad. The Smart Play Falcon is chubby. The Smart Play Falcon, I think it is in the aspects that they go with, because they've put like the holes at the front, and they're 3x3 tiles, which is bigger than arguably 1.5, maybe Will's would have been best for that. But given the fact that some of the Falcons, I mean, UCS Falcon scales up the best. We can all agree this is the best one, just because they've had the most space to do with it. And the engines, would the engines be 2x2s? Or would the engines be 3x3s? I think 2x2s is nice because they've got the grey rim, which they can't do at this scale. But speaking of the engines, I have an element in mind that I want to recreate for those. So we'll get on to that. I think that's the interior done. Hello there, Green Paradox. Got your on. Oh, got the Dark Falcon for Christmas. Nice. Yeah, I'd like building the Dark Falcon. It was a nice change, and I'd welcome more sets like that switch up the style of Falcon. Even the Solo Falcon. Didn't get to build that. A lot of white. I'm sure that was a similar experience, and also the connection to Solo probably did it some good. So what do Lego say the width of this set is? It should be about 23 centimeters and 24 centimeters wide. Oh yes, because they've got the trigger. So whereas I was shrinking it for the cockpit, they've still got the trigger out. So it is 24. So it's 5 centimeters wider. It's about 20% bigger, and that's given it the interior. I wouldn't mind this for the midi scale ships. This probably sizes up to microfighter X-Wings and stuff like that, doesn't it? It's yeah, what scale is this? 24 centimeters. How long is the Falcon? Let's have a look. 35 meters. Wow, this is going to be big. All right, so 35 meters is crazy. This is 24 centimeters, which is 3,500 centimeters life size, which is, oh, we did that the wrong way around. You divide it by its actual length to find the ratio. It's not 1 to 45. It's 1 to 145 scale. Wow. What about the Microfighter X-Wing? Microfighter. I want to know if this is to scale with the Falcon, like if it's close. If it, oh, wait, we haven't got the new one yet, but we have got that. We have got a Microfighter X-Wing. We search Lego Microfighter and X-Wing. It should pop up. This one, but we want the Lego specifications. We've had 2. I forgot about snaps. I don't think it will give us the width, and I don't know how many sites actually track things like width. Maybe there is one. But the next thing would be finding one that doesn't have a ton of ads popping up as you click on advertisement, just to prove the case. Measures over 7 centimeters wide. So how long is an X-Wing? 7 centimeters to that. The newer is the Resistance one. 12.5 is the one we want. I got fooled out last time, right? That is Red 5, 12.5 meters long. So 12.5 meters in centimeters divided by 7. It's a little smaller. So you want a chunky X-Wing. Rather than the micro, I think the polybag is wider. The polybag that we got for May 4th a while back, this is the one. This is wider than a microfighter by about 2 studs, which is 1 and a bit centimeters. That should be enough to scale it to the Falcon. So if you have these polybag builds, not the Falcon, not the polybag Falcon, that doesn't scale up to the Falcon, of course, but the X-Wing, maybe Vader's tie as well, they would scale nicely to this set. And with the interior, you wouldn't need a space to fit Luke. You've got it inside the cockpit, minifigures standing up, lid on. We still haven't told off this side bit. Let me get those before I forget. The Microfighter X-Wing. I think microfighters are a different ratio. They're not meant to scale down. They are meant to be a little funny sometimes. Some of the scales. I mean, the Deltas as well. Plo's Delta. Plo would have had as much space in his original playset Delta that he had in the Microfighter. That doesn't make sense. Surely Plo should just be ahead in that Microfighter if they wanted to keep to the scales. There we go. Nicely toed off. And now everything goes back. Side studded in. Roof flopped on. Did we stud in the side properly? Nope. Stud in the side properly so that it's not falling out. Just like so. And we have a quality set. I'm really loving this Falcon. We've still got the cockpit to fill. I do want to make a 9 to fit in that cockpit. So we will definitely come back for that. And then placing it on our Yavin display, back to the camera, which we didn't want for the X-Wing, but the Falcon looks good with its back to the camera, purely because we've got that engine, and that engine with a light in it would look so fun. But we're not lighting them up today. We will come back and maybe we light them up tomorrow. Maybe that's what we do. That would be fun. Yeah, we could see that happening. It only took us an hour to build the interior. Let's skip round. I'm going to see if I can pull up my screen for the element that I want to create, because I haven't gone through the process at all on how I create any of these pieces. There's a few grills that we've been talking about on the channel for ages. Somehow I activated... oh dear. Can't say the name. I activate them again. When's the next Lego Batman stream? Ooh. Could it be this weekend? Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, this weekend. And funny about Lego Batman, I thought this was going to be the last weekend. I thought this was going to be the last weekend that we could play Lego Batman, because I have it down. In fact, I need to change this. I still had it down. There we go. I still had it down that it was coming out the 29th of March. The new game, the new Lego Batman game, I had down for the 29th of March. And I can confirm it's not coming out the 29th of March. I don't know where I got that from. I don't know how I got 29th of March. I have no idea where 29th of March came from. All I know is that I thought it was coming out the 29th of March. It's not coming out the 29th of March. So I was going to end the Batman series. Now I don't know what to do. Oh, there's a black bar at the bottom. Oh, that's going to be a little annoying. All right. We're going to have to zoom. Oh, but it's... Oh, can I not just like shrink this down a bit? Oh, I don't think that's too bad. Making it out like it looks bad. No, I think that's quite good. So, what I have here... Yeah, we might play more Batman. I think this weekend I want to complete Lego Batman 2. We finished Batman 3 last week. We went through Batman 1 beforehand, but I did enjoy Lego Batman 2. So we might go back and try and 100% it. I think with 2 players flying around collecting the gold bricks, we should be able to do it fairly quickly, because we've done all the side missions. We've got all the characters. It's just the gold bricks left to get, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, there might be 1 or 2 other little bits to do, That won't be too bad. It's mainly though, the gold bricks, I think. You want to buy a TIE Advance or TIE Bomber set. Which one do I recommend? The new TIE Advance comes with a smart brick. You mean which? Is this on market or is this old ones included? Will you be paying out for the older ones? Because there's a few good TIE... Well, actually, the TIE Bomber on shelves is a solid build. That one's nice. It comes with Salone. But if you don't have a smart brick... how much? The TIE Bomber is on sale, isn't it? The TIE Bomber is probably, what, like 50% off? That should be. Imagine, I'd pick up another one. The Lego TIE Bomber in British pounds. Oh, it's 50 quid. Oh, it's gone back up. Is that retiring this year then? Because that was 40 quid everywhere last year. What am I missing with it? The TIE Bomber's pretty good. I don't know how it stacks up to Vader's TIE. Let me quickly pull them both up, because... Wait. Was Vader's TIE always 60 quid, or has that gone down? So they're priced the same. Same price for the sets, which is nice. The TIE Bomber comes in at a few more pieces. It's got about 150 more pieces, but a lot of those pieces are smaller elements. Whereas Vader, well, Vader doesn't have a lot of big parts necessarily. I would go with Vader's TIE, because I picked up the Bomber just to build Vader's TIE anyway. So if you're going to pick up the Bomber and build Vader's TIE, I'd go for Vader's TIE. Otherwise, grab the Bomber. If you're looking at picking up both, I'd go for the Bomber first. Recommend for both. Which set? I think the new ones. I always think the new set... Well, no, I don't. I don't always think the new set. Scratch that. Yoda is nightmare fuel. Don't buy the new Yoda, but whatever you buy, if you like it. I don't like it. I couldn't have that on display. But I think both the new sets. I think the Smart Play Vader is being slept on. That's the best set. The Falcon has a lot of bias. The Falcon has a lot of bias because that's the set I always wanted. A smaller Falcon with an interior. Not a full interior, just one scene. That did it for me, and we've got a few bonus scenes in there as well. I think Vader's TIE has the best build. So far we've built the A-Wing, the X-Wing, Vader's TIE, the Falcon, the AT-ST as well, we've modified. And that's 5 out of 8. I don't think Mos Eisley's going to beat it. That one's not hitting. And also the Speeder and what's the other set? The Speeder and what? And they've got rid of their Smart Play tag, so I can't even just click onto Smart Play. You can't see Smart Play. Well, maybe you can if you've bookmarked the tab. But I've got to scroll past the busts. Oh, there's Yoda. Past the Mando. It says Yoda's hut. Speaking of Yoda, it was Yoda's hut. Smart Play sets are too overpriced. I think Vader's isn't bad given the rest. I do think Vader's on a sale is your best bet. Wait for Vader's to go on a sale and pick up Vader's. Because if that goes down, it's sold in the same stores that the Bomber is, and the Bomber went down to 40 quid. So this Smart Play set, down to 45, grab it before it goes out of stock. That's a good set. Vader's TIE at £45. That might be how I pick up the Smart Brick. We've got Vader's TIE there. I might buy it. I might buy the actual set, add those mods to it, and then we've got ourselves a Smart Brick as well. I probably won't. I'll probably wait for some of the Mando sets to go on sale, but it's the thought that counts. It sounds fun. Anyway, I'm going to have to... Oh, yeah, that'll be no problem. So, this right here, little 3D printing segment. Don't worry, we'll go back to Lego. We will go back to Lego because I want to show you how I create Lego pieces that I envision. This is Bamboo's... I don't even know what this is called. What is this called? Studio Labs? Something like that. This is Bamboo Studios Bamboo Labs. Why doesn't it tell me? It says BAM ... Thanks. This is BAM, not to be confused with Build a Mini or Build a Minifigure. And this is where I get the channel member tiles as well, actually. So if you do want to become a member, get your name on the board just up there, and check out the join button down below. Why don't I try printing giant Lego? I do. I have printed giant Lego. We've got our giant mini kit right down here. And this is the software that I printed it on. This isn't the software that I designed these big bricks, because Lego don't give you 3D patents and 3D software, 3D models to print their bricks. Oh, I found a little slope behind the mini kit. It's a lucky little mini kit. Instead, you've got to design the parts. That's a different board game, or you can find it online. There are a few 3D printing forums and sites that you can find these things in. And once you do, you import them into this. The best choice, printing the giant mini kit. So fun to put together. And the best thing about the mini kit is I've got a ton of sweets in here at the minute. But the mini kit is like, this is giant Legos. Everything pulls apart. Even this handle was separate parts printed, like the top, the bottom. So fun to put together. And it's hollow all the way through. With this model, don't worry, big hands getting them stuck. This is a separate connection. So these are, I glued these down, and you can pop the whole thing off like a little pinata, the way it would just spew out all the sweets in there. You'll print that too. I recommend the giant mini kit. That battle droid in the background, also 3D printed. Not Lego, but that helmet is 3D printed. And that's all that I can see. But a lot of 3D printed parts do sneak in. There's gotta be more 3D printed. I just don't notice. Oh, the wall, the hexagonal wall, the honeycomb beehive that stores most of my army building minifigures. That's 3D printed, and each of those can be added and removed, taken out, swapped about. And there's a few of them that have screw holes. I've secured that better than you saw in the last video. It's not being held up by nails and blue tack anymore. It's in there full, and that does look cool. You want to print a Venator class Star Destroyer, maybe the UCS one, or the mini build in giant version. There, that would look cool. UCS size would go crazy, because that is such a clean model. It might not be as detailed as like UCS build. That would be so clean. That would be a fun print. I do want to print some more Lego bricks, which is why we're here today. Because today I'm going to have to sort through my files. This could take a while. I've got a ton of Lego bricks on here, but I want to create the grill elements that we haven't got. And you can do a lot. You can do a lot in here. You can add different primitive shapes. You can't see it, but when you right click, you go down to add primitive, cubes, cylinders. So we can and will be editing Lego bricks in this software. And hopefully I can take you through most of the changes that we're going to make. I've just realized that rather than searching through all the elements, what we can do is open up Brickowl and just search. Open up Brickowl, search for whatever piece we need, and I can search by number then. That's a good idea. So what number do we need first? I think it would help getting up the grill. So let's get up the 1x2 grill, also known as piece number 30244. All right, let's have a look. 30244. Yes, that has come up with a number. I should be importing it in here, but there's a little step that we have to do first. Slide it over to this folder, and can I drag it? No. What do you mean no? Oh, bamboo. I have to import it myself. There we go. There is a grill. It is that easy. I know I made that seem a bit difficult, but I just like to have all the pieces I'm using in one folder. There we go. The grill is imported, and this is a low poly rendering of the grill element. but this is a 1x2 grill. There's a few differences that I'd make to studs, and if we get a time, I don't think we'll need studs with grills. Maybe we'll work on a different version, then we can add that. But what I want to do with this is double it. And I don't like that gap in the middle. Specifically, if this guy is in the center, which we assume they are, you can right click. Can you right click and center? Where is that? Oh, it is in the center. So we can't center it. You can also see 90, 90, 1.6 is the center of this build for this piece. This element, we want to be 8 millimeters away, which is a Lego stud. You can see on the desk right here, each one of these studs is 8 millimeters away. You can get out a ruler on your Lego bricks and measure a 1x1. I'll get the details online. Each of these are 8 millimeters away, and we want the exact same for these. So where it has 81, we actually want 82. 90 subtract 8, we want 82, and that should bring it right up next to it. And now essentially this is a 2x2 grill. That's cool for the engines. But the engines of a Lego set, the engines of the Falcon, are round. So trying to find, oh, where did Breckow go? Oh no, all right, let me send this across. So what we want to do is look for the 4x4. There's a reason we're doing the 4x4, not the 2x2. We want these to be 2x2, but there's a Lego element that has a 2x2 cutout in it, and that's the piece we want, a 4x4 round cutout. Here we go, plate 4x4 round with 2x2 round hole, and the number is 28620. That's 28620. Let me slide that across to the folder that I'm importing from, just so I don't think you do see any of the pop-ups as I'm using it, but I do like to make doubly sure. I'm not leaking any future plans for any videos. Here we go. So this is the element, and you can see now it's low poly. This isn't going to hurt us too badly because that shape can always be fixed up a little bit, but it's a low poly rendering of that cutout, and we want to fill the grill on the inside of this plate. Before we go further, let's see, print out a bigger channel member board for the donators. Oh, that would be crazy, but where on earth would I put it? We're going to need another members board soon. It's over halfway full, and we're not even halfway into the year. That would be a good idea. What I should do is create a pop-up so that the name appears on screen. Now we're onto something. I don't know what I'd do for longer names. That would be fun to work in. Before we go forward, I'm going to fix these models, just make sure they are closed. You can see that the red triangle has disappeared on the left side of the screen. That's just a right-click fix model. You can do that. Some Lego bricks you don't want to do it because it will close up some of the holes that you've got going. And now we want to merge these into one piece. Right-click, merge, and they've become one. In the left tab, we've got an assembly here. And that's not something you go to in a school. Well, actually, that is kind of something you go to in a school. But more importantly, it's this connection here that means these two are connected. They are one. They are no longer two elements. They are one. And we can now cut the corners. This is where the fun begins, because right-clicking, add negative part. It's a pain in the bum that this... Can I... Wait, hold on. Is this a setting that I've disabled? No, it is capturing... Yeah, it is capturing it. So right-click, add negative part. And this is where we load in that 4x4 as a negative part, which will start to cut away at the edges. We would prefer for it to be a rounded off circle piece. There we go. That's the easiest way you can do it. And when this is sliced, as it is now, oh wait, this isn't even all the way down. Double check that it is touching the base. Oh, because we've got the holes in the bottom. Oh, they're printing little corners. It would work. You'd end up with a few extra little bits. All right, that's the easy way of doing it. There's something I haven't tested before. And that something is a torus. That doesn't look flat. That actually looks like a really nasty shape. Scratch that. We're not even going to try meddling with that. What if we added a... Is there any other way we can do this? Perhaps we can math it out. With this negative part, we could chop off the top, chop off the bottom, which you can do. It's the cutting tool along the top. You can't do it to negative parts. Oh, because it's part of the assembly. So if we spawn it separate, just add a primitive shape. No, we don't want a primitive. We want to load in the Lego brick. And then we want to cut it. And then we want to complicate it much as we can. So cutting tool, we'll cut off the studs just below the studs. So we know it's perfectly flat. We only want to keep the purple bottom. So we'll trim that, might as well fix it as we go as well. And then flipping this around, we can cut off the bottom studs like so. Oh, perfect. We've got this disc. If we center this, that middle section is the grille that we want to create for the engines. And then we can strengthen this out. Let's see how we can increase the Z-axis. That's the height, without increasing anything else. And then we'll lower this down just a tad. Just a tad. And at the minute we got a donut. We don't want a donut. We want a Falcon engine. We don't want a donut. So if we merge these now, we should be able to make this donut a negative shape, a negative part, subtract from the grill, give us a rounded off edge. We'll be able to use this in our Falcon, or we could have a problem. And I think we might run into the issue here. So one way to find out, let's get it done with. We're gonna right click merge. We've got our donut, way too high of a donut as well. Get rid of this bottom. And can we change type to negative part? Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that. We do need to set it back down on the floor. I don't know how much we should be shrinking this. Can we line up the base? No, we can get flatter than that. We can, no, we can get, no, we can get, okay, we can't get flatter than that. And then I wish there was some indication of how low we could go with this. Oh, there is. There's a little line. There's a little line down here that tells us we've sunk below it. So what's going on? Oh, come on, bamboo. Up a little. No, too much. Up a little. No, too much. What? This is not moving with my mouse. Why is it locking in place? How do I unlock this? Oh, I let go and it sinks. What? Okay, this is not what I want to do. Is that on the floor? What if I raise this? At the minute it's on 0. But that's just because it's part of a separate build. So, oh, there we go. That's the first instance it falls below. And that's now resting on the floor. So when we load this, please work. Please work. We've got ourselves a round grill that disconnects at the edge. We do need that edge. We do need a connection in there. And how would Lego would have something going over the top here? I want to connect these front bits as well. So we could add we need a ring. We need a ring in here. Right now the primitives we can add: a cube, cylinder, sphere, cone, double tier rhomboid cylinder. You don't need to know what that is. Disc, No, wait, disc. What's the difference between a disc and a cylinder? Is a disc just a flat cylinder? That seems like a waste of a primitive. Yeah, there we go. Get rid of the disc. Why not a ring? Where's rounded rectangle? Really? Rounded rectangle? It's not even rounded the whole way. It's rounded around one of these faces. And that's it. What? All right, this might be the best we can get just in here. We might have to design the rest elsewhere. We could add, we can't really export this from here as it is, which is the only issue. If we were to export it, it would be without the negative part. If they could fix that up, you could do everything within this. Otherwise, you'd have to try and find your own softwares. But we've got some sort of round engine. If we can find something to go across there. Oh, that's a pain. I had not thought of that before. Also, why does the... Oh, because we're using the circle, yeah. Alternatively, if you super glue two of these together and sanded off the corners, that would work. But 3D printing is meant to make this easier. And right now it's not. What other Lego elements do we have? What I'm going to do is add another primitive. If we had a positive part and then a negative part in that, I think that should work. So we'd create our own add-on to this. We want to create a primitive separate, a cylinder. This is a separate build. It's not part of the assembly. It's outside. That's exactly what we want. Making it float is going to be a bit of fun. But this is going to be set... Oh, no, 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 no. Don't do that. Let's bring you over here. This is going to be separate to that and set on top of it. So this needs to be the exact same circumference that we want it, which is A times 2. 16 millimeters. Lego sometimes keep a millimeter either side, or 0.1 millimeter, don't they? So we'd go down to a 15.8 millimeter circumference. That is our X and Y. 15.8 seems quite big. 15.8 in the X, 15.8 in the Y. Our Z needs to be half a plate thick, and a plate is, well, we could get a ruler, but it's just way too small to measure. You can see it's between, actually, it looks like it's between 2 and 3, or just under 3. I think it's meant to be 3.2. We'll give an extra millimeter above and below, and extra point of a millimeter. So we'll call it 3. Make sure that it goes down. And this disc is now the same height as the grills. There we go. What height are the grills? They are 3.2. So they do go all the way. That's nice to know. We'll do 3.2. Might as well, if that's what the Lego brick is. And we want half of this. We want the top half of it, which is 1.6. And that's 3.2 divided by 2. And then a hole in the middle. And to push this up, we can do 2 birds, 1 stone. If we add a negative part, another cylinder, just like so. Don't really know what this does, so we're gonna get rid of that. And on the inside, we want the difference between 2 studs, whereas a stud is a stud is 8 millimeters wide. A knob, which is what Lego officially call these bits on the top, they're not studs. People in the community prefer to say studs than knobs, but these knobs are 4.8 millimeters wide, which means we want 4.8 plus another full stud, the gap between it and the stud next door, to fit on the inside of this ring. That's 8 plus 4.8, that's 12.8. So we'll take that number and size up this to a 12.8 in both X and Y. Z doesn't really matter, but 3.2 is probably one of the easiest to work with. Am I going to watch the Mandalorian movie? Oh yes, I am booking tickets as soon as they are available. That's going to be a fun watch. First centering this, I would recommend moving, not the cylinder, move the whole thing. Moving the, wait. Move it. Can I select the hot? What? Why is it not? Why is it not moving the whole thing? What if I grab it by a grill? Huh. That might be a bug with this. To be fair, I haven't updated it for a couple days. So there is probably another update. And then centering both the cylinder and the negative part, the negative cylinder, we've got our disc that we want. Can't wait for the Mandalorian movie. That is going to be a fun one. And then this we can drop right down. All right, it's in the middle. Right now it's looking like a overstuffed Oreo with the darker on the top, the white in the middle. We want this to be further down than up. So ignore the shapes, put them back in your mind. What we need is right now the centers of both of the items. Oh, perfect. 3 plates and 1 plate. The centers are mixed. But what we need is for the invisible, the removed part to drop down. So we need to find the centers, find the difference in the height. What that would be is, well, one of them is 3.2 millimeters tall. This one, in fact, is 3.2 millimeters tall. Middle one is 1.6. So that is a difference of 1.6 because it's half as high. That's 0.8 at the top, 0.8 at the bottom. If we put in 0.8, we push it up. I should have subtracted that. That should be a minus 0.8 so that it's down. And now it's going through the floor 1.6. So the whole thing, hear that? The whole thing, not just the negative part, we want to raise by 1.6. It's 0.8 at the minute because that's where the center of the regular part is. So 1.6 plus 0.8, 2.4, 2.4, 2.4, or we can do it ourselves. 2.4-ish. What? Can you not have this floating? Do I need to assemble it to something else? Because what you can do, if you really want to, if you really want to do that, all right. Here, oh, did not want another one. Just wanted the cylinder. Just wanted the cylinder. There we go. We've got 2 cylinders in this. If I make this the smallest, and we're talking size 0, like 0.001, 0.001. Let's go 0.001. It is currently 0 big. You see that? Because I don't. That's gone. We have disappeared it. That should be our base. Can we move just this cylinder and this empty cylinder up by 1.6? Yes, we can. So why would they implement a feature that can be so easily broken? Is that is flat right? That is 1.6 in. Look. Why implement a feature that isn't going to work? We can just do this. If we grab our grills over here, recenter them, and that should give us the ring we need. So when we slice it, come on, give us some Falcon engines. Beautiful. Look at this. Okay, it's not as tall as I want. That needs to be up by a little bit because at the minute that's sat flat. Hold on, has it just worked around our workaround? It's worked around our workaround, hasn't it? Yeah, it's dropped it down. Hold on. Hold on, cheeky. Come on. Up you get. What if we raise it by another 0.8? And then another 0.8. That's where it needs to be. Don't drop it. Come on. Oh, it's worked. We've got a round grill. We've got studs in the side. Realistically, I should have printed this upside down because it's got a nice flat side here. But this is going to take about 10 minutes to print. 3 minutes to print and double to prepare. I'm not going to be time-lapsing this. We don't need to time-lapse this build. But what that means is I could get this printed. Do we want a few of these as well? Don't we want like 6 engines on the back? I don't want to push all in case they end up not working. 1, 2. No, What do you mean? All right. Nope. How am I gonna... Wait, how am I gonna move these if I can only move one at once? And I gotta grab a non-negative part. 1, 2. No, it's in the negative. All right, I need to move that well out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did they need to be that far apart? No, not at all, not whatsoever. But how long is this going to take? 20 minutes? Okay, this is dropping frames. This is just my computer now. This is not the camera. This is not the internet. Hopefully you can still hear. 20 minutes with the preparation. So preparation is just 6 minutes flat because these ain't being time lapsed. 20 minutes. What do you, should we, do I have filament in? If I have filament in, it's white filament, not grey. Preferably, I'd want some grey filament. To be honest, they can be painted. Do I load? I mean, printer's loading. Whoops. Printer's on. I guess there's no other option, is there, to print? You run these to print. You find something to do in the meantime. We got plenty to do. Audio all good, lovely. I don't know if the stream was choppy on your end. On my end, it completely froze. Computer was like, all right, let's run this complex equation that I've made, add negatives, positives, negatives, overlapping. Wait, that shouldn't be there. Oh no, we should fix that. Please don't, Bamboo. Please don't fix that. I've been using that on so many builds. The lag was so bad, I teleported a few times. That wasn't the lag. That was actually my special skill. All right. Printer's up, printer's ready to go, filament's in. Let's hit print on this and we will check back in 20 minutes. I'm keeping you to this. Don't be like Epic Games and tell me 20 minutes, 4 hours later, it goes down to 19. This best be 20 minutes. And hopefully it's not too loud on the mic. I forgot about the whole thing it does where it like vibrates to make sure the world's not going to crumble around it. It should only do that once when it's booting up. That is a flaw in every 3D printer, so we're not going to start that. Here we go. Downloading 100%. I like Bamboo. Look at all the stats they give you about it. Have I got everything out of the way as well? No Lego is going to get crushed in the process, right? Simba, I'm looking at you. Don't try it. Don't push back. So now we got 20 minutes of that. Oh, that sounds good. Hello, carrier. Is it called the hello carrier? Helicopter, helicarrier, hella. Do I say it right? Helicarrier. Is helicopter. I'm questioning anything. The helicarrier seems to be revealed tomorrow. 3,000 pieces. That's like a third of the Death Star, which is a lot. That is a lot. There we go. Vibrations have begun. Should have turned that off. There is a way you can work around that. Very codey though. Not enough time in this stream. Well, there is enough time. I don't want to be spending my time coding. Not anymore. With the helicarrier, that is that going to be micro scale? Are we going to get more micro figures? Because Harry Potter's been on it. Star Wars needs some. We need some micro characters. Even with these polybags, one micro character that's an exclusive piece would be beautiful to come alongside. That would be good. The lag was so bad, but you just teleport. Oh wait, I read that one. Wait, why am I seeing double? Let me refresh chat. All right. Whilst that's loading, what else? What else could we? Well, we could be doing anything. We could design some more pieces. So that was just the part for the Falcon. That was just the regular part for the Falcon. The good thing with this is, look at the warnings down here. Serious warning, conflicts of G-code paths have been found. Oh no. Anyway, what we can do is create a brand new base and work on some other slopes that I think are needed, especially for Luke's X-Wing. For the Red 5 X-Wing, we've got our 1x2 slopes. They're on the X-Wing right now, so we can take a look. On the wings, see those 1x2s in dark red? Right here that are lengthwise with the 5 stripes going through. They are cool, but they're not flat. And how many times have we seen Red 5s? How many times have we seen Luke's lightsaber? How many times have we seen Luke's X-Wing to have not got them? One of those Stormtrooper action figures and show it on camera. They're not action figures. They're what order? See no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. And they are stuck down. So I can't take them if I wanted to. How many times have we needed this element? Well, today I have the answer. We will be turning this sad little grill here. Look, it's crying. It's so sad. We will be fixing this up, literally, fix the model before you do anything to it, into a 5-stripe grill. I think that was 5. And it's a lot easier than the last one. The last one might have been a bit daunting. Don't worry, you don't need to do as much. Add a negative cube in the middle. No, thank you. Right in the middle, center that. And then we don't need to be too precise with this. We can even size it up to the grill here. Okay, we kind of need to be a bit precise with these side measurements so that we don't end up with some mismatched shapes. Oh, you're gonna be weird again now, are you? You're gonna lock either. Come on. Oh, there we go. All right, perfect. We want to remove that. Get rid of that. Don't like that one bit. Goodbye. And also scale this down. We don't need this to be too tall. We want this to be across the middle. Oh, this does pose a problem. Does pose a problem. We'll get to that in a minute. And that, if we just rendered that straight up, there we go. We've got rid of the middle. They've got the little bit in there, but we're mainly focusing on the tops and the sides. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll create this even lower. Center it again. I'll lower it down because we want to get rid of the base as well. Now, on top of this, we'll start a second shape. This is one shape right here. We'll start a brand new shape with just a cube. Just a cube. We're going to do what we did to the other one. Create a second cube, make it minuscule, a little 0.01, maybe even 0.001, I think it was last time. Just to make sure that it's not showing up at all and it's not needing to be rendered. This is actually the problem with, oh, we could uniform scale it, couldn't we? This is the problem with the loading. It's trying to render a piece that isn't even there. There we go. We shrink that. Are you coming along? Yeah, looking good. No casualties so far. Shouldn't have said that. Oops. It's gonna get minifigures. Is that the rumor at the minute? A helicarrier with minifigures would be, I mean, the last one did get the kind of UCS one did get minifigures and microfigures. Minifigures would, they could have an interior. That would be mad. So what we're going to do is size this up to, let's scale this down, size this up to roughly 7.8, which is the width. It's 8. What? A Lego grill's the full 8. I'm not one to question the full 8. And we want to get the distance between the left and right side of this piece. There is a tool for that. Of course there is, a measurement tool, which tells us that that is 1.6, which is 1.6. Oh, half a plate. That's half a plate, which makes sense because we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's 2.5 plates. So that makes sense. Huh. Gonna make the grill bars thinner. We're not making them thinner, but what we are, well, I mean, technically some parts are thinner, some parts are probably less thicker. But what we're gonna do here is make this nice looking shape We don't want it to scale uniformly. We want to keep the width. We want to keep the 8mm width so it goes across and match that 1.6 wide and also 1.6 on top, because that will give enough space for the studs just below this, and it will also add up to the top. So now we need 5 of these, but let's not get carried away. First off, is that in line? Is 89.8. So we want that in line. We want that 90. That's 90 as well. Let's slide it right over. A lot of this is done just based on iron it up, which I can tell iron it up. That 89 odd was probably central. Oh no, there we go. That's cool. So you can just see the outline on the side. Give it a little raise. We can raise it from 0.8 to 2.4. Oh, come on. What's it doing? Why is it? Oh, that's why we didn't merge it with the invisible cube. So now we can raise it. We want it to go up by 1.6. That's putting it 2.4 high. We can move it. Oh, we can move it a little to the left as well. Just a tad. That looks pretty good for me. We're dealing with Lego. You're not going to notice much more than that. And then a few more of these. Sliding them all the way across. Once you know where it starts and where it ends, there is a little math hack that can get you to find the exact distance. Of course, we could measure it. That's too easy. Measuring or finding out the answer on the internet has more chance of you getting it wrong than if you worked it out yourself. So let's work this one out. From this, oh, can we measure? Can we, it's assembled, no? Oh, we've copied the assembly. Oh, we don't want to do that. We want to copy it into, oh, don't keep copying the assembly. We want to copy it into this assembly. There we go. Get you out of here. So, because it's part of the, it paste it on the same. Okay, now let's slide you across. See, if I was paying attention, that wouldn't have happened. Yeah, that one's good. And now we can measure the entire shape, which the gap between is 12.7 something nasty. I'm going to turn a blind eye to that and say that's 12.8. If we get back up the interwebs, just so I can show you all the working out here. So that's 12.8, but we need 3. We need 3 bars between them. So that's minus, we don't have to complicate it, minus 3 lots of 1.6. We don't want images. So that's 8. Perfect. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. 8mm. Never forget the measurements. It'd be really handy if Google gave you measurements. Oh, nope. Google does not understand measurements. Fair enough. 8mm. Just picture it on the screen. And we've got 3 lines in the middle. Oh, hold on. We've got enough fingers for this. We've got 3 lines in the middle, which gives us 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So that 8 divided by 4, you all know it, it's going to be 2. So if we head back to here, back to, and copy just one of these guys, we need to move it to the left by 2. So that's minus 2, 1.67. Again, not really nice numbers, but that's 0.33. Moved it across 2. Plus the 1.6 is minus 1.93. Okay, there we go. Don't forget that 1.6. 3.6, we're moving it across by 3.6. Is there a nicer number this end? Just on the left here, U. Oh, minus 12.72. Oh, we have been nasty with these numbers. Minus 12.72 or minus 12.8. Minus 12.72. What are we adding? 3.6. Top of the head. 9.12. So moving this guy to minus 9.12. And then this one can meet in the middle. What's the middle of that? We'll be adding another Google's calculator, so slow to use. Not that I'm using it to work this out. Again, of course, top of the head, minus 5.52. Beautiful. Here we go. There's our cross section that we want. We don't want the middle bit though. This would be a cool grill for a street tile or a sewer pipe. This would be perfect for that. Hello there. Hello there, Clip. It surprises me. Funnily you say that. I think grills are the weakest Lego element after clips. I think clips are weaker because they're used to clip things and grills just sort of sit there. But it surprises me we haven't seen any bigger grill elements or Lego haven't framed out cockpits. I suppose anything bigger you can create using bars. So there's not a need for it. You can have door rails with a bar in the middle and you can fit that into just 2 studs and that would be a big grill, but you can't get any. Oh, and I suppose the other way you could get door rail plate for the 5 going along. That would work as well. But we do have to be very careful. We've got a Lego standard grill here. Let's slice it and make sure. There we go. Look at all these corners that they're putting in where the paths are following. Again, there's some paths running into each other. The printer's smart enough. The printer's smarter than we were. If we were following instructions, at one point, we would eventually just cross over and go, weren't meant to do that. The printer knows. The printer's not going to be delaying it at all. Been watching for a year. Oh, thank you for the support. Awesome to hear. That is awesome. And look, this is what a year's worth of work and dedication can get you. A 1x2 grill. Is it done? Is it? Oh, wait, because this is... wait. Oh, I see. Where I'm normally swapping the filament for the members' tiles. This is something that you can do as well. You might not need to, but some of you might remember Django Fett Slave 1, we dual printed something and we had a color swap in between. And that's what it just paused for. It's going to kick back up in a second. Because if I was to slice this plate, where is the pause? I don't see the pause down here. There isn't. Oh no, I think it's just flicked one off. Let's get that. Because ain't that pretty much the top? Yeah. Well, it's not the cleanest of thing. It can do with a little revisiting. But how are the rest of them looking? Is that done? Okay, cool. Yeah, that's last layer. Oh, nice, it's done, it's ready, it's ready. It's out of the oven, it's ready. Let me get a nicer one. All right, so you should wait for these to cool because otherwise they will warp straight off the base. I think it was on its final flattening. These look quite nice, especially with the middle one being a little thicker. There we go. There we've got our engines. Oh, and this one. Here we have our 6 engines. I will be painting these up. I know I was too impatient to color these in gray. And they pop off fairly easily. Oh no, I've just spoiled it. No, there's my workings out on screen. There we go. Let's see if we can get one of these grills painted, printed as well. Whilst we're here, we might as well boot up these. These don't have any select all, copy paste. There's no pause in the print in here. We've got our 2 5 wide tiles. Hopefully these fit down on the bricks. And this will only take another 10 minutes, so we might as well run these as well. Let's get these going. But in the meantime, let's take a look at these engine pieces. I don't know what they were doing on top, but look how clean that separation is on the inside. How cool that is. That is really cool. Here we go, top down view. I mean, not that you can see them all too much, but what these are for the Falcon, these bits right here, these engines, and how many sections do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sections on the engines. How far can I zoom in? Oh, and a little bit on the corner. Mainly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is exactly what we've got here. we could have put a gap in the middle. But I do agree, the gap in the middle would have been too fragile if we tried to separate these at all and would overcomplicate it. So let's grab our Falcon before we grab our paint and check that they fit on. The engines are all going across. So we're going to match that with the engines all going across. First one on. Who says you can't print Lego? Clearly they haven't watched this channel, because we have been printing Lego for quite some time. That connection isn't like loose, it's not going to fall off. I'll tell you what I can do. It's not going to spill on my lap like gravy, but it'll hang there. It'll float. It looks good. It's down fully. And that's just the first of 6. We've put it down in the wrong spot though. On step 342, I can clearly see that it goes on the end of the wedge. Good thing we can pop this off like a Lego one as well without breaking it. It's not that fragile. All right, there we go. The only thing I'm worried about is if the Falcon's too fragile and pushing this on will push it through the roof. Where are the other ones? One on the side here. Yeah, this is bending before anything goes on. So there we go. There's another one on the side. That was a healthy click. Ooh. That one wasn't. That one went straight on. Same on the other side. Give us a healthy click. Or not. Come on. Oh, yes. And then this guy's got a little bit of filament. This was the first one. A little bit of filament stuck. I have tweezers on hand just for this. Or even better, a little scraper. Just want to push that through. Come on. Oh, are you, which side are you stuck? That's annoying. There we go. I think it's because it was hot, it's popped into the center. So that should come out now. Perfect. And now it's as good as any other. Perfect little engine that goes on the base. And before we paint them, just so they stand out and you can see, how cool would that be to get the engines looking like this on the Falcon? I think this would be amazing. We just created our own little engine blocks here that stripe across. This would be obviously a lot harder than printing the pieces. Lego have given us printed parts in the set, but a lot funner to do at home. Well, this piece ain't even down fully. Let's get you all down. That'll do. And if you are printing these at home, I recommend waiting for them to cool down fully, because these are probably going to be warping at some point. Maybe not. Maybe we got them down quick enough. But normally if you pop off any of the larger pieces, they do warp. That's just a pain. Unnecessary, not needed whatsoever. I really like the way they look. I also like the way the printed parts look in the set, and I did wonder if I should just grab those at some point. The other parts, has it been? What did that say actually? How long did it say it would take to print? Oh, 10 minutes. Has it been 10 minutes? I thought the other ones just come off a minute ago. Time flies so fast. Oh, wow. So let's... All right, I don't need brick out. Any other parts we could print whilst we're here? Whilst we're here, there's one. There is one more. There is one more element we could 3D print. And it's not for the Falcon. It's actually for a minifigure inside the Falcon. And if we're 3D printing parts, we might as well fix up all the characters. This R2-D2 figure. A lot of people would say that the jumper works as a little neck swivel, which it does. It does. It's a Shakespearean neck swivel, but it does work as a neck swivel. What if, as we're creating dream elements, and we've created the grills on the back of the Falcon, the grills on the side of Luke's Red 5 X-Wing, what if we could 3D print an element that R2-D2 could use that would stop him having to, like, break his neck every time he wanted to look to the left and the right? Let's add the Falcon back on display. We'll grab R2 in a minute. First, let's head over to Bamboo, or BAM, as it likes to call itself, And this is going to be a lot easier than the piece we made for the Falcon. They look like wheels. They're not the prettiest. This does look nice, but again, not the greatest. Also, you could follow through those steps and just remove the invisible part for those little grills, the street side parts. But for R2-D2, we're going to only use primitive shapes and only use cylinders. That's it. Nothing else, just cylinders. And with 6 cylinders, 6 cylinders is all we need. Oh, hold on. The pieces are printed. All right. Here we've got the grills for Luke's X-Wing. We'll add these. You know what, might as well add these now. But with 6 cylinders and 6 cylinders alone, we can make a spinny top for R2-D2. I'm going to leave you in suspense while I add these to Luke's X-Wing. So much suspense. And we'll be painting these dark red as well. It's going to line up so much better to the flatness of the wing. Although I'd argue that the slope works back here. And let's see if these pop in. How do we open the wings? Just manual, isn't it? They do. They pop in perfectly. There's a little bump on it. I'd grab a knife or something and just get rid of any parts. Normally where they finish off, where the 3D printer stops, for parts this small, there's a little something left behind. But in dark red, these are going to look so cool. They're flat, just like the wings. You can't really see them. They're disguised, oh, they're disguised way too well. Oh, you can kind of see it, especially on this wing. You can kind of see where it is. It's disappeared here. I can't even see it on this wing. But look at that. It's an element that Lego could make. They could reuse for cities, especially with Lego sizing out this piece. We got it on Luke's X-Wing, but how many more times will we get this before they replace it with just the flat slope? And then they're probably going to sticker this or print it. It'd be a nice print, but they could give us, instead of this grill, that flat 1x2, because when is this used that A, it doesn't have to be flat, B, you can't angle it yourself, and C, I just wanted to say C, I couldn't think of a third option, but you could replace these with the flat ones, get them painted up. I think that would be a fun addition to our parts. Plus, those old 1x2s with the 5 lines going across have existed for so long, they've probably got enough colours out there for mock building. I don't think there is a colour we're yet to have in them. So, for R2-D2, sizing this, first thing I'm going to do, shrink the height, make it a disc. We don't want it to be flat as a disc, but we do want it to be 1.6 millimeters flat, which is half the height of a rounded jumper. Very important. As for the width and the height, we want to keep to those 2x2s. So that's, what is that? That's 16? I would go with 15.8. And for R2-D2, I am actually going to go with 15.8 because I think R2 might be just smaller than a plate. Though using jumpers, I don't think it stands out. I don't think it stands out as much as that. And then on top of here, we want some negative parts. So we'll add a negative cylinder, just the one. We can duplicate it. And this one will be our stud hole for the neck of R2-D2. So we're going 4.8 centimeters, was it? 4.8 by 4.8, as tall as you like. Maybe you shrink it a little bit so you make sure it goes all the way through. And at first, we want this to be centered. We want it to be right in the middle. We'll switch that out in a second. But whilst it's in the middle, make sure you've got 4 of them. I just clicked one, Control C, Control V, copied and pasted 3 of them, and the original gives us the 4th. And these will be moved out to the corners. They're looking a bit, given how big this is, they're looking a bit small. Why are they a bit small? They are 4.8. Yeah. Why are they so small? I need to get me a 2x2 plate. Are they actually... They actually are that small. Oh. What did I... Had it? Oh, window. Oh, I just unlocked a Windows shortcut. I didn't know about that. That's fun. But these plates, rounded plates, the studs are actually tiny on the side. I don't know why I thought they'd like overlap or something. That's not how Lego studs work. They're just on the edge and cut off a little bit. So these circles should be overlapping if we've done it right. But you also see 4 of them. You've got that cross in the middle, which is an anti-stud that fits in there, which I don't know how big that is. I know it's a bit bigger than a stud, but I don't know exact measurements. And these right here, you need to move. Oh, point what? What's the point of that? Why have we got points? This is centered. So in theory, they should be centered. I am going to make the decision to ignore that 0.08 and that minus 0.06. That is 0 and 0. Did you see it change anything? Because they all look like they're piled on the same to me. We'll ignore those little numbers. You can only do it if it's in the far right and if it's that small. And instead, we're going to want to move these out to the corners. We can, bit of math, top of the head. A stud is the full stud, not just the knob. The full stud is 8 millimeters wide. So if we wanted to move something from the center out to half of that, 4 millimeters, and then we've moved 4 millimeters, we move 4 millimeters again, you can Pythagoras what that distance is. We only work in X, Y's and Z's, which is your length, your width, and your height. Why did that move 12? Get back. So if we move one out 4 and the other one out 4, look, we got that little bit of overhang that we wanted. Top down, you can see we've got that central stud and there's one off to one side. Let me try and angle this so that we've got, oh, hold on. So that we've got our X going along the bottom, our Y up the top. And then for the second one, we don't want to just X4, Y4 because that puts it in the same position. But we can modify this. That's 4 forward. We can move this one 4 back. And maybe for the third one, we go 4 forward and then we go 4 down. I think most of you are catching on to what we're doing here. It seems like it is quite basic fundamental math, and sometimes that's all you need. So we'll go 4 backwards and 4 down. We've got our 4 corners. If you drew a cross through the middle here, we've got our 4 corners of the graph. And that right there will go onto any plate, or at least in theory, we hope it should go down to any plate. All we need now is one stud in the middle. We are basically creating a micro jumper. Whereas a Lego jumper has one section to connect to the studs, one section to connect to then the next bit, one section with a stud. Sometimes the plates, the rounded off plates, will have that anti-stud section for 1.6. Then it has a regular bit of plate, just a fixed bit of plastic in the middle. That's where Lego gets its strength from. A lot of companies do skip out on that or try to slim it down, and it doesn't work out in their favor. And then we've got the Lego studs on top is that third section. So we've got A, B, C. We are skipping B. We have got our A, as you can see, and we are going to get another one of those cylinders actually, because it's easier to modify a cylinder that's already the right size, 4.8 by 4.8, than it would be to try and create our own one, in all honesty. And whereas a Lego plate is normally 3.2, we've got our 1.6, 1.6, 1.6. Get rid of the middle. We've just got our 3.2 from stud to bottom, 3.2 millimeters tall. We want this to be, well, where do we want it? We don't want it 0 because that will sandwich it in the middle. We want it 0.8 up. And we also, one final change, we want to switch it from a negative type, negative part, to an actual part. And that gives us the little knob or the stud in the middle. You could also add a hole into the middle of this if you wanted it to act like a regular jumper all the way through. When we slice it, we got the holes showing out the top. We've got the camera frozen. I'm teleporting again. And it looks like a shuriken. This with bars on the end would be an awesome piece. In fact, no, this is too thin for a minifigure to hold. But doesn't that look cool? Look at that. I'm only going to print the one of these because we only have the one R2-D2. And actually, lucky enough, this is in white, so this would work. This would work really well. And that's going to be off printing. So whilst that is printed, did I even clear the faceplate? Quick, clear. Oh, got there just in case. Not bad as well that the only thing the printer does do that you're not going to use is this. Maybe an extra little bit. This is all that's been wasted, and I didn't remove this, so this has been double done over, and this is all that's been wasted from the printer. Not bad. Oh, and that little bit that we pulled out the engine as well. I guess I should say that. But whilst we're waiting for that, I did see an article about Lego asking. Now, I want to get up the exact terminology because I don't want to be misquoting Lego here. But there was a Lego questionnaire out that essentially asked people to fix Lego. That asked fans like me, fans like you, to fix Lego. And I want to hear how you do that. No problem. Amitla, thanks for hanging. May the bricks be with you. Let's see if I can find the article. Wait, it's already done the line of filament. It's not even been there yet. Wait, Lego reveals... okay, it's not that one. That's interesting though. I have to look at that one, see if that's any good. Oh, come on. All right, whilst this is loaded, the whole point of the questionnaire was you get a blank check from Lego. Blank check. As much money as you can imagine. This is employment though, so you can't just scam Lego. You can't rob Lego and run away. That is not a valid answer. I know how some of your minds work. You get a blank check. Unlimited resources, unlimited money, unlimited time. What are you doing to fix Lego? And that's the question. So if anyone has a quick answer, how would you fix Lego? I personally don't think there's a one thing to fix it. I think it's a very hard question to put out there. It's also a cry for help if I've ever heard one. So Lego, hope you're doing well. I guess the smart brick didn't go as well as I hoped, eh? But blank check, any resource, anything, what are you doing? First thing I'm doing, assigning a creative lead, a head of department, a master builder, if you will, someone to lead the designers specifically for Lego Star Wars. That's my first step. That's my first step. So blank check, probably go into them. Here's all your Danish money for designing sets, because oh boy do they get paid well. I would love a share of that. That's step one, ahead of Star Wars and most themes as well. I think Marvel, does Marvel need one? Maybe Marvel does need one. I'm not too in the loop. Every theme, Ninjago has somewhat had one. So same as Ninjago, I'm giving a head of department for every designer. First step, hire Master Mouldie. I like that step. Do I get the blank check? Because Lego, I'm taking it all. I probably wouldn't take the check. I'd take the Lego, if I'm being honest. I'm in a lucky position. I already get the ad revenue. I don't need Lego money. I just need more Lego. If we're teaming up to build the 100k subscriber Venator figure scale or whatever we're doing, I'm gonna need a lot of Lego for that. Give me all your grey. Star Wars, stop using grey. Give it to us. We can build the Venator. You know, we've seen all the grey ships. Look, Falcon, TIE, AT-AT. There's more hidden back there. We've got enough grey ships from Lego. Star Wars, Lego Star Wars. Give us some Rainbow Falcons. Have a bit of fun. Give me the grey. I'll work on that minifigure scale Venator. Step two. You know what? Step one was my big one. Step one, head of Star Wars. Cool. Step two, perhaps there should be someone overlooking the entire thing, especially for the smart brick. The designers had a lot of fun with that. So glad the droids aren't all grey. The droids are quite colourful. I've been loving the McDonald's, IKEA, Lego droids. They're fun. And all the pilots as well. A lot of fun, actually, in Rebuild the Galaxy. Give us more Rebuild the Galaxy. I tell you what, scrap that. Rebuild the Galaxy guys. Can't remember your names. Head of Star Wars. There you go. That's who I'm making head of Star Wars. Step 2, release newer sets. You know, release sets on Maul. We had a mech last year. Kind of unrelated. I know it's on shelves for Maul, but it's nothing to do with Maul. That's Clone Wars Maul. We need a set on Maul. We need to get our Bad Batch set because I've been playing Minecraft. Minecraft fans will not stop banging on about an end update until Minecraft give it. And as soon as they give an end update, they want a never update. They want this updated. They want more Underworld. And that is the case because they didn't keep up with it originally. So till the end of time, Lego Star Wars are going to get, where's our Bad Batch set? Oh, we got our 700th UCS Falcon before a Bad Batch set, before a third Bad Batch set. Bad Batch are going to be forgotten about. There's still going to be a group of people banging on about this set. Do it. Do it. Do it. Because if Lego don't do it, they're always going to have that creeping up behind. So that's step 2. All the sets that they didn't make and that have been on the shelf, perhaps even some unreleased ones, get them into production. And every year, just do 1 or 2. Don't do them all at once. 1 or 2. Step 3, new minifigures. Yep. We don't want to see the same Luke in a million sets. If we're getting a Luke X-Wing this year, we don't need a Microfighter Luke next year. Give us some rare character that people are going to love in a Microfighter, generic enough that kids can make them anyone. That's something I've seen in the magazine. In the new magazine I got a few days ago, we will talk about that when we get there. Maybe we'll do that on stream because that's a whole nother conversation. And step next one, because I've lost count, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3? Did we even do step 3? Step 1 was a head of department. Step 2, I think that was sets. Step 3 was minifigures. Yes, UCS printing. If you introduce something, keep it. Same with Rex. Rex was in a Microfighter. There's no excuse for a UCS Luke. 6, 7. Oh no. It's living rent free in my head. Subconsciously. Oh. I've also realized that the R2 piece is looking a little funny now. Yeah, I didn't see that on design. Now I see it in person. I can realize why Lego haven't done this. Because, well, it would have been as useful in Indiana Jones as it was Star Wars. Step 4. That's it. I don't think much needs to be done. Maybe if time isn't a problem. So designers, we need a head of department. We need someone in control. Someone that can say yes, no. The problem is that's going to have its own problems. We'll get there when we get there. Let's have someone fun let's have a yes man. Put a yes man or woman. Let's put a yes person. Someone who says yes to everything. Head of department. No no's. When it comes to building Lego sets, no isn't an option. Only improvements. This is good, but not happening. This is good, but can you do this? What if we progressive? Let's get sets on shelves. And then sets, yes, remake a few of the old ones. Again, no-nos. Minifigures, gotta keep the quality. If I made a banger of a video and then went back to no edited vlogs, I think there'd be a few people that would leave because you're promising something so good and then you're not delivering. UCS figure, Captain Rex in a micro. Everyone loves it except for like the 5 people that were moaning about that. What the hell? Why are you complaining about UCS minifigures in a micro? Unless you bought the UCS expecting the exclusive minifigure, that's valid. But that's the exclusivity. You can complain about Lego. That Rex Y-Wing was a decent build. Could also turn it into minifig scale with only 5. We did that on the channel. And then 4, I forgot these points. Oh, why did I start numbering them? It was over the minute I gave them numbers. We've got head of, we've got past sets, we've got minifigures. Anyone remember the other point? Oh, that was the whole point of these points. What did I say? It was about the quality. It was about someone to take charge. The minifigure details, the promises from old sets, keeping up to date, and the fact that droids aren't all grey. We're going to keep that. In fact, no grey droids. Get them out. The Commando. Anyone seen the Commando come into the magazine? That's That's pretty cool. I can't wait to pick up a few of those. I'll probably just pick up one because I still want to pick up the MTT. I saw it confirmed for Poland though, which is awesome. That's fun. Anyway, R2-D2 is done. We have our cross neck here. Look how clean that looks. Not the board, it's got remnants of plastic and glue and all sorts on there. For bigger builds, I do use glue. There's a free tip. For bigger builds, always use glue. But this is our neck for R2-D2. Looks like a little frisbee as well. So we'll bring back the Falcon because R2 is hidden on the inside. And should be able to add this straight to R2. It might need a few tweaks with the size. Sometimes they do. They need to be made bigger or smaller or just reprinted. Sometimes it's just not with you. Come on, off you get. Off you get. We don't want to wait for you to cool down. You've had like 10 minutes. Whoa, that was fun. So that's the R2 neck bracket. It's cheaper than a 2x2. So whatever Lego are selling them for, they could sell this for cheaper. Hello there, Snow Blizzard. Welcome. Just in time for the reveal of R2-D2's new neck joint. Oh, ouch. All right, you're going to be a pain then, are you, to fit in? What is it? I think it fits perfectly. Like the studs might be a little on the bigger side. So let's pop off R2's legs. We don't want this to get stuck on the inside, but if it needs just a little convincing, yeah, that's all it needs. One stud down. No, don't pop it a cup. No, don't do it. Why did you do it? It's going to take so long to try and squeeze this in. We might as well reprint it. We'll size that up. We were just talking, Snow Blizzard, about Lego. Oh yeah, I was finding the article. If you got a blank check from Lego, unlimited time, unlimited resources, what would you do to fix Lego? Where they're at right now. What are you changing? We're giving a head to the Star Wars department, not a mutilated head, like an actual head of department. That was a better way of putting that. We're giving a creative lead. Maybe a Filoni figure or like a Kennedy figure for the Lego department, I suppose is what it is. We're also making old sets that never saw the shelves, adding UCS quality to all figures. That doesn't mean every figure comes out and is UCS from the get-go. I understand one and dones, but the Lukes with the legs, the arms, the 3POs, that should be present in pretty much every single set. And I can't remember the other thing I said. I have no idea. For R2, we're going to be fixing it up by taking these 4 circles here and one at a time, very important, one at a time, making the holes a little bigger. 5mm each. And if you click on one, does it make oh no, it makes the new one 5. Okay, you're going to have to press enter before it. I thought it was duplicating it to the next step. Turns out it was only doing it to the old one. And we'll run this to print as well. That should fix it. Also, if it doesn't connect to R2-D2's head, which I should have checked, then you can also make the top one bigger or smaller. Increments of 2mm are going to be fine. But actually, this is too small. So I think this has probably shrunk because of how small it is. So we will be making just this top bit. The little cylinder. Nope. 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 This little cylinder will be up into 5 as well. Make sure you're not splitting any R2-D2 heads. I mean, R2-D2 heads are a dime a dozen. So it's not going to be too bad if we do. And then, there we go. 8 minutes to print. Let's see, what else are we changing about Lego? And where's that article? Oh, another magazine. I said about the Commando droid coming to Star Wars. Turns out Anakin isn't the next one. Anakin's not the next one. Jango Fett is with a tin. What happened to that? And then we've also got a Commando droid, which I think is in Europe after Anakin. So maybe we then have Anakin and a Commando droid. And then, because because Europe are getting Anakin next, this like any day now. Maybe some places like Poland have already got him. And we're getting Django next month when they're getting the Commando. No, so then Maze should be the Commando. Maybe we're not getting Anakin. Oh, that would suck. I was looking forward to getting Anakin. I mean, do I need an Anakin? Not really. I think I have Anakin from Riera, but it was a really cool Anakin. The one that came in the Eater, it would have been a great figure to have got. That would have been fun. Just to round it off, for number 5, the other thing I am changing is if everything is unlimited and if everything is on the table, I'm going to introduce IPs to the Bricklink Designer Program. I think Lego Ideas is... It feels like it's more of a scam. I can't explain why it's not a scam. Lego give you like a % of everything. They give you like 3 sets free as well. That's quite nice. Lego... Oh yeah, when is the LAN applications? When are they being reviewed? Because I still think they haven't done it from like September or something. It's not that far, but it's something like that. Oh, here we go. It was... Oh no, they have probably done the September ones. I didn't apply for those. But it was this year's first one. That should be coming up. I think that's end of May. I think they do it after Star Wars because otherwise just a bunch of Star Wars fans would apply for free Lego. Of course we would. That'd be fun. Let's see if I can find this article. Here we go. Here we go. Lego asks, if you had a blank check to fix the hobby, what would you do? What are you doing? What you doing? This is an article from Brick Fanatics as well, which, if it does load, it's been a while since we've taken a look at anything from Brick Fanatics. They used to be my one-stop shop for all things Lego, but they just run so many ads. No, thank you. Yeah, no thanks. Not on this one. Don't want ever. They're not paying me to advertise. If you had a blank check, weird word, to fix the hobby, what would you do? All right, Chris, what are you doing? Do you give us an answer in this? I didn't read it. I literally read that and was like, all right, this will be fun to speak about on stream. If you were given a free reign to change Lego as a company, all right, Snow Blizzard, you think the biggest thing you'd do would be trying to produce cheaper sets, especially in regards to entry-level sets. Oh, damn. You just beat me with like the first thing you're changing. The first thing I'm changing... First thing I'm changing is paying some like creative lead more. I'm giving money to the rich. You're trying to make Lego accessible. Oh, wow. That's... Yeah. That makes sense. More low, especially for Star Wars did it well this year, but for IPs, Star Trek, the ship probably sold decently, but they're coming out with a diorama either this year or next. Star Trek are. It's still going to be like £100. It's cheaper than the bigger one. But if we got that shuttle pod as a couple of quid set, or something of the equivalent for like 13 quid, 12 quid, that's where it's at. Not even just £9. I understand Lego for £9 is more battle packs and little, like the Ninjago mechs, beautiful sets. But for 30, between that £10 and £20, maybe up to $25, that is the thing. And that's just it. That's just the first one. That's not it. Also bring back classic themes. That is going to be very popular. I've not been too into classic themes as much as the next guy. I think the next guy, chances are, probably into classic Lego a lot more than me, especially if you've grown up with it. Castle would be awesome to see. I think Pirates is kind of on its way back. Goonies was a pirate ship. Pirates of the Caribbean was a pirate ship. They need a pirate ship line. They should all have been under pirates. Pirates of the Caribbean, definitely under pirates. That would have been beautiful. Space as well. They can get away with some Star Wars builds. Maybe Star Wars don't want them. Release them under space. Give them a brand new color. We've got a golden astronaut. What's to stop them making a white and blue or a silver? What about a pearl dark gray astronaut? We haven't got one of them. We've only got the tanks at the minute, and the legs and the arms and the hands. And I guess the classic minifigure face, but we haven't got any of the rest of it. R2 as a classic astronaut would be fun. On a side note, you finished your Separatist shuttle. Oh, did you find all the parts and build it? Awesome. I gotta get me one of those. Just want a free cream egg. Oh, they are really good. So good. R2 is a done. Well, R2's neck is a done. Not quite R2. In terms of icons, you'd release reimaginings of more obscure themes. Ooh, Lego icons. That's... So you could do obscure themes in general, but if you're thinking what I'm thinking, and you might be, Lego themes. Bring back like power miners as a one and done, and that would be the Sonic drill machine. I think they could do a few more like recolors and that of sets. So the Sonic set's retired, maybe release an Icons power miners because they have it there. They just need to recolor it. That would be perfect. That honestly, perfection in my eyes. So here is the second piece for R2-D2. This one should fit. Let's try it out. See if we think of anything else. I want to find out what Chris would do. What would Chris do? What would Chris do? How long have you been building with Lego? 20 something years. How often do I buy Lego? Too often. And I know that shouldn't be a thing. For me, it's too often. Look at that pile of Lego that I've still got to build. Most of it from Christmas, some things bought since. And my birthday's coming up. So if I'm lucky, which I have been the last couple of years, there's probably going to be a few more sets onto that. I need to stop. I stopped. The thing is, I stopped. I haven't bought Lego for so long, and it still seems to be building. I don't have too much Lego, but I've had the next best thing than too much. So much. I have so much Lego. I need to be building. I don't want it to pop through that gap. Now I've seen it. It might. How did I pop it off? Look, I don't think I touched it. Or did I lift it as I came back? All right. It's visibly different from the other in person. Maybe not on camera. Put back this. And I think that'll be it for the printer tonight. We'll give it a nice rest. Thank you very much. We'll let it cool down before you turn it off. 3D printers out there. Don't turn them straight off. Heatsink builds up. Possible problems down the line. I'd recommend letting them cool down to, oh, this is at 50 degrees. Oh, snap. Well, it's just dropped 49.50, but I'd let it cool down before you do anything. You want Lego to go back making some smaller and more affordable sets, not just smaller and more affordable micro sets. I think those £9 sets are perfect to get your Razor Crests with a micro figure. Imagine some of the play sets with micro figures, how cool that would be. Oh, that was beautiful. That was, can I pop it off and do it again? Come on, no, let me do it again. Oh, that was beautiful. You're gonna need a close-up for this. Look at this. So it rests on, and then, oh, silly exposure. It pops straight. Oh, that's like Lego. Oh, that was perfect. Oh, that was so good. And the head, does it fit? It fits, yes! Oh, and it's still on. it's safe. But look at how R2-D2 looks. He doesn't look like a Shakespearean gentleman. Sure, the white comes up a little bit above the leg. So does every other R2-D2. That brick-built R2, it comes up like a millimeter, not even like 0.1 millimeter above the leg. That Domino, that doesn't. Okay, most of the other models don't. The Lego one definitely does though. There's like half a brick above the one we just built. This This is the perfect astromech. I'm going to have to print these in all sorts of colors for my different droids. And the best part is, if you only have one color filament, you only have to color the front, the two sides and the back, because no one's going to see the rest of it. Just keep that white. Maybe get a pink filament as well. Add a little brain into the astromech. Little bit of fun. Lego, we need to see this piece. This is the perfect addition to R2-D2. Awesome. And the head spins, you wouldn't even notice it's any different. I'm going to be using this going forward. The only thing I could recommend is filling in those little gaps of R2, but then you're taking away the Lego. You're taking away the whimsy. You're taking away the fun of it all. You could also paint the front one dark blue. Try and match that with the bottom bar, just to make it a little thicker. It is meant to be thicker than the other lines, and it is currently thinner on the Lego set. Maybe dark blue is the way to go, or you can just keep it white, which I'm probably going to end up doing. We got the Falcon to paint. I'm not going to be painting R2 as well. This is perfect. That's honestly surprised me. Honestly surprised me how well that went. I didn't think that a simple cross would do that much for an astromech. I might have to list this one on the bamboo. I don't know the bamboo place. I haven't been on it for. I've got comments. What? Oh, I don't read the comments over there. I should. I am going to get onto that. I'm going to be reading those comments tonight. Oh, a modification. Yeah, that's real simple to do as well. So I just got a comment on, oh, the minifigure box display. I got a comment on the minifigure box display. I can talk about it here because I will be responding to that in a little bit of time, about modifying the studs. What we did here so that it fits R2 perfectly for our computer, might not work for everyone, is went to the cylinder and modified it so that it was 5 from 4.8. We made the stud a little bigger. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to export that one either today or tomorrow. Get that out there. And same for any of your builds. If this is a Lego brick as well, you can always put a cylinder over the top. It's a bit tricky to start to learn it. But trust me, once you get to working with a 3D printer, it makes everything so much easy. We invented 1, 2, 3 pieces in hour and a half maybe, and we printed them and we tested them. We made sure they worked. We didn't paint them. Should we paint them? We could give a little quick coat, couldn't we? We could give a little quick coat. Where did I put the paints? We could. Oh, but then I'd have to mix a grey. All right, I'm gonna paint them in my own time, probably whilst I'm editing, because then I can let them dry. But I'll be sure to include in the Falcon video, it might make its own video about these vents, because I'd love for Lego to make more pieces like that. We also did it with the city for corner masonry bricks. It was one of the last updates we did for the city. I never went through with it because we ended up tearing down the city a few weeks later, but they did feature on the channel. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know what other parts you'd like to see, because this was a lot of fun. And as for like old plastic bits, I get a recyclable filament. I'd recommend it. It's a little more expensive, but I think a lot of the ones I got that big order from Eligoo, I think that's recyclable as well, because it's corn based, not food corn, but it's different corn based, and that makes it. No, is it recycle? No, that's biodegradable, not recyclable. It's one. A biodegradable isn't as good though, because it takes ages to break down. It's just like any plastic. Most plastics are biodegradable. You want to try and find a recyclable PLA, which not a lot of places recycle PLA either. I think even here we have to put it in. Well, supermarkets take it because they get cash back for recycling. It's quite cool. You want Lego to go back to make affordable sets? Yes. Yes, please. Was missing a few parts such as a 2x6 bricks in light bluish grey and a few darker blue tiles, but were able to replace them with bricks and tiles from other sets. That's the trick. Mocking it out is the way to go. And also, I don't know how many of these sets will actually be building as sets, but even when building Lego sets, I am going to be swapping out a few more parts as we go along, because it's handy to know there are people that will chime into just that one set, and to let them know that that is possible. That is well and truly possible. I mean, look at the bricks we got. Eventually, you'll have to get bigger drawers for them. So much fun. I might actually get some deeper drawers for these tubs and just 3D print these tall containers. I want to make them bigger, same size, just extra tall for the deep drawers, just because of how funny that would be. That would be hilarious. But I think that's the Falcon done. Let's add R2-D2 back inside. We didn't find out what Chris wanted. And I don't think Chris tells us what they want. Which of the following best describes your current relationship with the Lego brand? We're casual. We're seeing other people. We're we're keeping it cool. So I'd never get used to a relationship using that context. It's just not something I would say. Very positive to negative. Oh wait, negative. I feel a growing gap between what I want and what is being delivered. Oh, this is like serious. I don't think there's a growing gap. I just think there's a more frequent occurrence to what I want not being what's delivered. As a mock builder, a lot of that is just personal preference. Darth Vader's TIE Fighter has been modified. I think the set's pretty cool. You can paint up some of the red parts. You can mostly cover them like with a tile. That does the trick. I wouldn't say it's growing. Let's see. How would you describe the energy of the Lego fan community right now? Feels more vibrant, diverse, and welcoming than ever. Is any community more welcoming than ever? Maybe. But they could all do something to improve. It's a great community. Feel like we're repeating the same conversations 100%. I feel like every complaint people had in 2005, similar complaints now. Oh, we want better minifigures. We got the same minifigure over again. 20 years later, same thing. And that was only a few years into it. Getting harder to find people like me? Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I do see quite a few of you having conversations in comments, which is really nice to see. And we love all Lego here. At the end of the day, we do love it. Even Yoda, we joke about Yoda being nightmare fuel. If you like Yoda, there is a place, because that Vader bust is amazing. I like a little bit of everything with Lego. It feels increasingly difficult for newer voices or creative ideas to break through. Sometimes I see a lot of people in the content space and making content go from what they want to do, which is 3D printing random parts for a Falcon that you've customized the interior for. And I'm going to work on that 9num as well for the cockpit. That would be a lot of fun. Might even design a 9num face on one of the next streams, to complaining about Lego because that gets clicks. And whilst it might look like it gets clicks at the start, it doesn't always. And there are so many bigger creators that have made a living out of complaining about it. I think there is an audience to pander to for sure, and not an audience that I try to keep here, which is why videos like the Juggernaut, we're not getting too serious here, but videos like the Juggernaut, I try not to make videos like that. If I don't like the set, I'll stay away from it, and maybe I'll do a quick modification video, the ATST. I'm not building that because the legs I don't really like, so I fixed the legs up, put that out there for anyone that needed it. And yeah, maybe we will revisit the ATST, but with my legs. I don't feel like many people are new voices, that's what I was talking about. So I feel like those people might think their voice is struggling to get through, but I think it's because it's difficult, not for new voices or ideas, but it's difficult not to fall into a pattern. Especially with Lego, following instructions, it's the easiest thing to do. So if you are doing your own thing and you're wondering, is this what I should be doing? Should I be doing this? Is this the right thing? Maybe take a step back, have a little think, give it another go. And as long as you're having fun, yeah, go ahead, keep doing it. And that includes if you're moaning about sets, there is an audience for that. If you enjoy critiquing Lego sets, go ahead. If you had a blank check of time and resources, money included, to fix or evolve one specific part of the Lego hobby that hasn't changed in a decade, what would it be and why? All right, spot on. Just going to go over the chat here. Produce cheaper sets. We've got that quite a few times. Yep. that's not been done in the last couple of decades. What would be and why? Yet changed in a decade. I don't think sets have got cheaper. They've come back to where they were a decade ago with the £9 sets, but they haven't evolved. Maybe instead of £9 sets, those poly bags need to be available at Lego. Why can't Lego produce similar sets to the £9? I mean, Mando's Speeder comes with one minifigure. Why can't that have been slightly smaller and maybe £6? Maybe £6. Mando movies coming out, they're going to sell hopefully 50% more, dependent how many cinemas are near a Lego store. If they're available in other stores, they would sell so well. Maybe that's too cheap, £6, they'd sell too well. We can think of a few possibilities here, but we don't want to sway your answers. What? Cheats. Feel free. Come on, evolve. They should have done a follow-up article. I know they're trying to stay unbiased, which you wouldn't understand from the rest of Brick Fanatics articles. I like the fact that they do have an opinion on a lot of these things, but yeah, the engagement. Has anyone commented? Do people comment on articles? Greg! Hey, Greg! Greg agrees with chat. Cheaper sets. It's easy. Lego is getting so very expensive. Cheaper sets is the one thing on everyone's mind. So it's nice to see deals here and there. A load of stores are rocking. Still in the UK, those £9, £12 sets are being reduced to £6, £7. 6, 7. It is nice to see cheaper sets. So that is the one thing everyone wants. Hopefully Lego listen and they will make cheaper sets more affordable, maybe even give us some VIP bags full of 3D printed parts like we made today. But that is all for today. Thank you so much for hanging and engaging, chat. It has been a blast. We've fixed up the Falcon. Yavin is now done. Maybe a few tiles. Oh no, lights. We need to add more lights. So stay tuned for the light show. We'll be, I'll probably be picking that up tomorrow. I cannot wait. Let's get Yavin complete on March if we don't do the rest of the smart play sets. And then still to come, early April, we'll be building Mos Eisley. We will be turning Mos Eisley into another Mos area. I might build a land speeder. I might not. I have some good plans for the land speeder. I want to see if I can make it minifigure scale, but the problem is they use the 4 wide slopes and minifigure scale needs 6 wide and overlapping them doesn't look as good. So we'll work on that. Maybe I'll make a mock instead. And as for Yoda's, yeah, I want the play feature of Yoda. We'll come back for that. So that will be happening early April. We've still got a few streams to see out March and actually not many streams. Tomorrow, Light and Yavin. Then we got Batman over the weekend and there is probably one more before we talk about new sets. So let's see if we can get Mos Eisley in that stream. And until then, thank you so much for hanging. May the bricks be with you always.